shower.
Well, it's you saying no shower now.
Perfect. All right, we going?
Excellent.
Yeah.
We're going for a
Great.
shower.
I'll do the recap then. When last we left our party, they chased an elder brain down to the surface and snuck past the guards posted outside. The party met the elder brain inside, and it showed them psychic visions of its home, the colony of Ildragfil, being conquered by the Fang of Immolation. Realizing that they were now surrounded, the party decided to negotiate for an alliance, that the Mind Flayers would help against the Fang of Immolation in exchange for having their home back. Negotiations initially went well, but they soon ran into ethical concerns as they realized that the Mind Flayers would have to feed on something. They briefly considered mass-producing flesh golems, but in the end they settled for allowing the Mind Flayers to target only quote-unquote evil races. Eventually, they came to a position where they could take an evening's rest in Erland's tavern, while the Elderbrain prepared a ritual, and they decided to betray the Elderbrain once they'd had a full rest. What followed was the longest and most grueling fight they have ever endured, with the Mind Flayers setting up a firing line and blasting the party with stunning attacks, while they were held in place by their minions. Hyarkin and Taito both fell unconscious, then Erland died, leaving the party terribly close to their doom. However, through brave and desperate struggle, the party managed to turn the tide enough that the Elderbrain was forced to take the last of his Mind Flayers and flee. Crippled and all but doomed. The party finally managed to defeat the last of their enemies, but the death of Erland made for a Pyrrhic victory. They will have to find some way of resurrecting him, and they're rapidly approaching a battle with the Fang of Immolation that's seeming inevitable. Try putting some music on. And I will set the scene for you all. What the?
What is... Hello?
I want to play Breath of the Wild now.
I was like, is this?
What is it
Actually,
playing?
It's a
These look
nutcracker.
ambience.
Ambient Breath of the Wild descriptions.
Sure. I don't
What
fucking
on
know.
earth?
Oh no.
That was so bizarre.
Alright, session's over. Run back up. We're good. Can't top this.
Oh, that just took me right out of the scene.
Yeah.
Get myself set up and then that boom.
Okay, let's set the scene. You are all amongst the corpses of your slain foes. I believe at the end of the previous session, you had put Erland's body into the bag of holding for safekeeping. You debated where you might be able to teleport to in order to resurrect him, and it seemed like after a little bit of discussion, you settled on the idea that your options were either sort of Ilitran, who you know can resurrect, although likely won't do it for free. The Dragons of Dragon's Rest, who you're already working for and are almost certainly powerful enough to do so. Or perhaps jumping through some hoops for Istus.
So who did it for Hyarkin last time?
It was Ilitran, the Archfey of the Circle of Wildfire.
He's expensive.
Yeah, he kind of sent you on a big quest where you ended up running afoul of the Fang of Immolation in the first place.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of why you were in our situation.
Sorry, guys.
Damn it.
All be traced back to Hyarkin.
It's
So,
all my
how
fault.
come Istus didn't do it last time?
With Istus, you did ask her about her ability to heal and help when you wanted help with virtue. The answer was she can, but you're likely going to have to find a cleric of hers who's powerful enough to do it.
Right.
She told you that if you wanted to search for that, then the Citadel of the Moon would be a good place to start looking.
We're already kind of in the midst of helping the dragons anyway. We could. I think the
I think last time we decided on Dragon's Rest, didn't we?
yeah
Yeah.
we did off session. We decided for that's
Oh,
probably the
yeah.
best bet. But yeah. I still think it's probably one of the better options, just because there might be a cost, but we can try and negotiate. We're looking to help anyway, so it could be a means of the more of us there are, the better. So having you resurrect our friend to help us in the coming battle is probably best. Plus, we have information for them anyway.
You certainly do. And
What's happening with Gareth building or
he
weaponizing?
he's, as far as you know, somewhere
We owe
around a
him money,
week
don't we?
off completing it.
And
How
we're
long
not
has it
we're
been? Oh,
It's been 1 week, and he said 2. Well, it's been
Okay.
just under a week, and he said 2. So
so we're still we're still got a bit of time before that's going to be ready.
yep. What I will say, as the dungeon master breaking the fourth wall a tiny bit, is in terms of actually going to Dragon's Rest, please hold off until Matt's here.
Yeah,
By all means, like, set things up ready for it, but
don't go there straight away.
yeah. Otherwise,
Well,
this is
we
going to be a
need to-
10-minute session, guys.
Well, we need to also kind of, make sure he has most of his body,
Mm-hmm.
because he's missing, his face.
Yeah, I think, like, the hole is going to be, like, in the back of his head, but his head is currently hollow.
Yeah. So we need to kind of get that fixed, and I'm pretty certain. What's his name? The guy from your place, Nick, from your castle.
Guy?
What?
What do you mean, the guy? The king?
No,
What guy?
the God, I can't remember his name, and I can't remember
Helping,
what it
dude.
was. I can't remember it. It's completely gone from my head.
You mean
He
the,
can't remember his own vassal.
Yeah, I know, right?
you mean the goddess that was in that cave?
No,
well,
goddess.
well,
I was in
The
don't
snake,
give him a
dude.
gender.
snake, the serpent that we helped, and is now also in servitude.
I really like the idea that this in-character
And it's
You
cannot
mean
remember Zeltar's name.
Zeltar?
Zoltar, Jesus Christ, thank you. It just,
Oh,
I don't know.
Colossus.
I'll think that as Zoltar, as you saying that as Seraphine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I've completely forgot his name. And then it's like, the next thing, he's like, how the hell did Yarkin not remember? Zoltar. Anyway, he'll probably be able to help do this, so it's probably best if we head back there anyway. It's probably our best bet.
You mean salad?
In the meantime, is there anything even in this place that is like just not meant, other than obviously the bodies? It's not meant to be here. Is there anything in like of any kind
I
of
mean,
value or importance?
Loot.
You don't see any, like, treasure chest in the corner of the room. Things of value that you are aware of. There is a ship on the clouds up above you, of gnomish design, like very unique gnomish design. That's probably worth a lot of money, especially given that it's functional. There's also the ship that you guys rented that you have left up there.
Yeah.
Granted, you currently don't have a pilot because he has a hole in his head.
Well, we might just have to
I mean, like,
let someone else take the reign on that.
yeah, I mean, it's safe right now. Like, it's in a place where no one else is going to get to it. But
We're also in a bloody. It's also in a whatchamacallit field, though, isn't it?
yeah, in the middle of the Skystone field. But it's in, like, a clearing.
So yeah, we can either go back to the ship, pick it up, and fly out of the Skystone field back to the Hiar Kingdom, or we just teleport there and then teleport to the ships once we've got them. We will need to get them back. Obviously, don't want to try and then have a ship that we're renting and then have to pay for it because we lost it. Makes sense. We don't have a lot of money as is.
Kayaking.
Let's fly 2 ships.
But not just that. I think we'll need a means to be able to get to that ship again from teleporting to it. So would you be able to just teleport us there relatively easily, or is it going to be quite dangerous to do so, Hjarkin?
Should be easy, right? Because it's somewhere we know well.
Yeah, you've been to the island exactly one time for a matter of minutes.
Wait, it's level 6 anyway, isn't it? I've used up my level 6 spell.
Level
anyway.
7.
Oh, it's level 7. Yeah, I can do it. Well, what's the chances of it being successful then if we've only been there once?
Let's have a quick look. We will say it is viewed once. So, perfectly on target, you're looking at a 25% chance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a bit. Have we got?
Maybe not worth the risk. We don't want to
I
end
mean,
up in the
like,
sky.
Now that you know that it's there and that it's safe, you could always, like,
Oh, go to the bit on
hire
the
a
surface.
salvage crew.
More money we don't have.
You guys have loads of money.
I don't think we do.
No, and we need to spend it soon.
I think our
We're
money's
supposed to be
tied up.
saving up.
I was going to say, isn't it tied up in buying the thing from...
Yeah, we used a lot of
Yeah, I
money.
mean, you
to-
owe like $5,000
Gareth.
for that.
Yeah.
The Gareth thing you already paid for.
Oh, okay.
That's what took up all of our money in the first place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The, I mean, like, I say anyone is welcome to make a 1d1 apparently. I was gonna say like history check or intelligence check to try and determine like the value of the gnomish ship that's up there. Obviously, Erlan would normally be the one who has the best chance of knowing it, being that like he's native to this world. But you guys have all like seen ships by now. You would have some idea of how rare it is.
Sure, I'll give it a shot.
But,
No, even worse.
Chris is not interested in ships. She can fly anyway.
yeah.
Yeah,
You want to roll
Uh,
potato, see if he knows?
Oh, wait.
Both go brr.
that's insight.
Better, not really very good.
None of us have an idea, to be honest. We're all dumb.
What did you roll, Alex?
I rolled a 4.
Bruh. Nicholas, you want to redeem the team here?
Hold on.
History or intelligence?
1 second. I'm
That's
good
safe.
with history. Let's give that a
That's
go.
all Taito can
Doesn't
do.
count.
Oh, no.
9.
I'm not doing much redeeming, sorry.
Jesus Christ, you even have a +7.
I know.
Fucking 2.
History's my strong suit.
I feel like you
Lucky.
guys are all just like
He's not
really.
on point today, is he?
Yeah, you got other stuff on your mind right now.
Yeah, we're
You put
kind
your
of
dead
not
spot,
in the
your
play.
friend's dead body in a bag a minute ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good in-game explanation.
I guess.
Like, you know, gnomish ships are like all unique. I mean, like, you guys have met gnomes. Gareth is a gnome. They like to experiment and do weird things. Like Gareth is making that dragon repellent sonic cannon for you. And he did like his weird thing where he put his shop on a demi-plane. Like, generally gnomish creations are unique. The size of the ship, it would need some retrofitting, but it could very easily hold a crew of like 20 plus with some modifications. So you imagine it's probably worth a pretty decent sum of money. But you couldn't possibly put a number to it.
And we couldn't physically get up there at the moment anyway. So, Oh, actually, that reminds me. There's a teleportation circle up there, isn't it? Is that what it is?
Not
Or
the
is it
same.
something else? It's not the same.
It
It's
is
not-
a circle, and it does theoretically use teleportation magic. It's
But-
not a teleportation circle. That's a specific thing.
So it's not something that Nick can just teleport us directly.
How far
Yeah.
away is it?
Although I would say it will have an effect. How far away is it?
Too
whatever-
far for you, Dimension Door, dude.
No,
Oh.
I'm not thinking about that.
Oh, okay.
It is 10,000 feet directly above you, whatever that is. in
Oh, okay.
miles.
Yeah, 10,000's way too far.
Are you thinking of your age?
It's above cloud level.
I was
so
thinking of Arcane Gate.
that's
Ah.
500.
Message anyone on
Do it
board.
twice.
Well, even with
Do it twice, you'll be a tenth of the way there.
Yeah. I didn't math that right.
well, what if we can
No,
see
you
it?
didn't.
What's the chances of using teleportation to get to that?
You cannot see it. Although if you can see it, it's 100%
Is it just a little
chance.
dot in the sky? Or nothing?
There's a cloud barrier, man. It's pitch black darkness.
Yeah,
Can't
we
see above
can't
the
see.
clouds.
Can't see anything.
Welcome to the surface, baby. It sucks.
I think it's probably
Gloomy.
best that we just head back to your castle, your island, and organise getting people to go and collect the ships for us, because there's no way we're going to get to that
Yeah,
island
let's
again
send people out.
in other ships, and then
Yeah.
I mean, like, now that you've cleared out the, like, tentacle monsters and stuff, it's not, like, a super dangerous journey for an experienced crew.
it's fine.
Message
So
whoever's
that's
on board the
probably-
ship. But I guess you have to know of the person, right, for message?
Yeah, yeah. We would have to go back to the back to the Hyar Kingdom and get someone to send out a call for someone to collect them, because obviously that'll be how we're gonna have to do it. So yeah, that's probably the best bet. We just head back to the bloody Isle.
In our kingdom.
Yeah, and
Yep.
then move and then sort ourselves out and move from there. Get Thingy's body like partially repaired, and then get them to raise him.
I believe you collected an associated object for Hyar Kingdom, didn't you, before you set off? Like a flagstone or a piece of tapestry or something.
Did you, Nick?
Yeah, we did pick something up, but
I was
I
gonna say,
haven't
I
got it
remember
written
you guys
down.
doing
Hold
that.
on, let me see if I've noted anything.
Did you? I was gonna say, did you remember to put it in your inventory at least?
No, weird. I can see the quantities there, but there's nothing written next to it.
You actually, what are you talking about?
No, there's nothing there.
Okay. I mean, I remember you getting something. So, as funny as it would be to be like, roll a d100,
I
We were able
dropped
to
it.
teleport ourselves there anyway.
it would just be an inconvenience. Yeah. So, you are going to be able to teleport to Hyar Kingdom, if you please. I will put you on the map for Hyar Kingdom. If I can find that. I had to change the name of it. It was still called Fort Celia.
Wow, rude.
King. There we go. There we go. Whereabouts would you teleport to, Nick? Like, whereabouts would you land, you think?
Hold on, let me.
Would you, like, drop in on the harbour tower somewhere? Would you, like, land right in front of the, like, fountain?
Yeah, that's where I was expecting to go, near the castle.
So, yeah, everyone links hands, and with a surge of chromatic energy, you're all pulled through the Bifrost and land once again in front of the fountain.
Is the party saying there's no place like home?
Yeah, you all click your heels together. One thing worth noting: the Aegis Pride is no longer there, and also the Dauntless Voyage is not there, and also Boaty McBoatface that you set off on is not there.
Can't we wish it?
Well, that
back?
one makes sense. I can't believe they all just the king and queen buggered off of that beforehand.
I mean, they told you they weren't going to stick around.
Rude. It's not like what they got a war they're planning for or something.
Also, Chaddington's creaky cock. Not
Isn't
there.
definitely there.
Sad.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Sag.
I will, however, give you a very brief description of some of the immediate changes you do notice. It seems like work has begun on many different things. You can see the starts of your wizard tower coming together. One of the larger towers in the old keep has been renovated, and they are currently like moving in materials, bringing in like the beginnings of a library to on the lower floors. Much of the exterior of the keep is now patched up and looking somewhat presentable. There still needs to be like some personal flourishes added to it, and much of the inside still needs renovating. Some very makeshift renovations have been made to the harbour tower, which you can see now several trading vessels are currently docked out, unloading lumber and stone that are being used to renovate some of the parts of the kingdom. There is an area set out up on the northern section of the island, quite near to the kingdom, where apparently there's going to be a smaller personal dock constructed, simply because the harbour tower is somewhat inconvenient in case of an emergency. And you can see that some of the workers have set up temporary abodes, either like taking shelter and like putting up tarpaulins in some of the more serviceable houses, which were all, I mean, you remember, somewhat maintained by Zeltan.
Zeltar.
Zeltar.
No, you don't remember his name.
You
This is
said
terrible.
Zoltan earlier, and it really threw me.
Isn't Zoltan something else?
Yeah, it's
Sultan?
isn't it a Sacha Baron Cohen? Yeah. Don't mess with the Zoltan.
Oh, maybe.
Zohan.
That was
Zohan. Close.
Oh, no.
Zoltan is
Zoltan sounds like something in
Faster Than
Star
Light.
Trek.
Yeah, it's a race in Faster Than Light, which is a fun game. In any case, yeah, the the island is currently buzzing with people going to and fro, carrying heavy things, and there is like a momentary commotion as you all like burst into existence in a like, you know, spray of magic. In fact, roll a d20 for me, Nick.
Sure. Is this our grand entrance?
No.
This is your magic surge. Nah, nothing.
Oh, okay. That would be a cool entrance if something crazy happened.
You immediately summon a bunch of flumps.
And they destroy the tower that's being built.
What would be terrible is if he rolled for the fireball.
There'd
We
be some
land a
complaining
fireball
to
just
do.
to curse.
Oh no.
There'd be some collateral damage there. But,
Yeah, that we'd have to pay for.
some of the workers will greet you. Like the foreman who was in charge of the initial efforts doesn't appear to be present, like at the keep right this second. He may be somewhere else. However, some of the workers are like, "Oh, Lord Hyarkin, right?
Hello, sir.
Welcome home. Is there anything we can get for you?"
Go and get everyone some nice food and drink while we're here.
Everyone is in all workers, or everyone is in all of you?
All of us.
Oh, yes, sir. He just like drops the heavy lumber that he was carrying and rushes off somewhere.
Right, so did he think that you meant everyone on the island? Get everyone nice
Yeah.
food and drink?
Every single
everyone's
person.
nice.
Get
Dude,
everyone
he's
here
like-
within this 10-meter vicinity. Food
This
and
is some random guy who was like carrying lumber.
Like,
Like,
all the-
He
all
works
the-
for me
all-
now.
Falls to the floor. I'm like,
Go and get us all a coffee
I saw a twig to go into his
and a cheese board.
He just like is currently like jogging off to the southeast towards where like some temporary abodes have been set up.
as he's running off, I said to everyone, I said, let's make it so he can't actually find us, so he fails at this task.
Oh no. The psychic damage will be too much for him.
Rip NPC. Hey, look,
Anyway.
these buildings better be fixed in the next few episodes. Like, as we come back to them, they're more and more repaired.
That's the idea. I mean, I was
Oh,
gonna.
really?
Yeah.
Nice.
In the meantime, I think we should probably, get ourselves go see Zoltan.
Salazar.
Zoltan.
Zoltar.
This we've gone from Zetos to Zoltan.
His name is Zeltar. I've got it written down.
Zoltar.
Zoltar. Let's go see
Yes.
Zoltar. Jesus Christ.
Okay. It doesn't actually take much for you to find him. Hierarchin is able to call upon him while you're in your domain, and he is. You get like a psychic response saying that he is currently at the Harbour Tower with the foreman, and also with Virtue.
When that guy comes back with our drinks, I'm going to get him to go and make some for them guys too.
I knew the guy. Are you guys just like hanging out in front
Yeah,
of the fountain?
we're just waiting for our drinks now before we go
He's-
and meet Zeltar.
Like 20 minutes pass and he is not coming back. You can keep waiting
That's
if
it.
you want.
He's fired.
He's
Does he-
fired.
If he gets fired, does he get kicked off the island?
Yeah, they load him into a
Oh, no.
cannon
Into a cannon? Yeah.
and
Jesus
then
Christ,
shoot him off the edge of the island.
Jesus,
What
that's
have I
No,
done?
of course that doesn't happen.
Damn.
how horrible. So mean.
No, it doesn't happen. He just gets locked up in the basement somewhere.
What the hell?
That's even worse.
Chained up.
I do not like the way this island is going.
I am concerned for it as well, to be honest.
It's better than it was before.
Is it though?
I don't know if it
Enslave
like
people.
it's better than it was when there was 50 or so mind flayers on it.
That's
It's a
what I
very
mean.
low bar.
Anyway, moving on. I don't really care whether we got our drinks or not.
Okay.
You're just gonna leave him. He's gonna be standing there with drinks.
It's like the
he's not
idea
getting
that like you wait like another 10 minutes and then like as you set off you see the guy like very slowly like walking towards you, like balancing this enormous tray of like
Champagne
Well,
pints all stacked up.
Hold on.
no, it's like food that he's gathered from what
no.
the workers would have been eating. So it's like beers and wines and like coffee and like cheeses and cured meats, like things that would keep.
I slaughtered a lamb for
So,
you.
so now the workers are going hungry because of us.
I mean, they've got like food. He hasn't like taken every like morsel of food on the island.
I
There's
thought he
like
was just panicking and stole everyone's dinner.
there's like
He spent half an
100
hour-
workers currently on this island, and he's bought enough food for like 5 people for one meal. But yeah, he's like carrying it all on a tray, and he's had to walk like all the way down to the village and then all the way back up.
Oh, no.
At this point, when we see him, we should just as we walk past say, sorry, we don't actually need this anymore. Just leave and just walk past and carry on.
Yeah,
The guy
make an
spent-
insight check for me.
The guy spent half an hour going
me,
all
yeah?
over the
One
island,
sec.
scavenging it for food.
Who do you want to roll the insight check?
I mean, Alex is the one who just
20.
20. For a moment, you look like he's trying really hard to look upset, and then he sets the thing on the plate on the ground and sits next to it and starts having an early lunch.
Brilliant.
Like, there's enough, wine and beer for 5 people here, so he's going to be
Wow.
slot. He's not working for the rest of the day now. As you guys set off towards the harbour tower. It's been some time since you all actually used a harbour tower. They are these enormous wooden structures of multiple layers, and then separate docks on each different floor with these large cargo elevators running through the inside of them, transporting people and goods up and down. And when you get to the base of the harbour tower, one of the workers, like a half-orc guy, is leaning up against the door, arms crossed, waiting for you, and says, welcome, welcome back. I was told to wait here and come get you. The foreman and your subjects are waiting up top. They were looking over some of the materials that are being brought in. And then
And we all
he
stare
just
blankly back at him.
looks at all of you blank faces, my name's Ja.
Odd T poses.
He runs away. He runs into the villagers. He's gone.
It's just, I'm just like, that's a weird kid.
He's you guys are fucking sociopaths. What's wrong with you?
We're in a weird mood.
We've got our own
This is
island
how
now.
you
It's gone to our
grieve.
heads.
This is all because
yeah.
Matt is dead. Erlan
That's
is
it.
dead right now, and we need to get him through. So we're all in a crazy mood right now. Anyway, I start making my way up the tower to meet with the rest.
I like the idea that now that you don't have someone to lead you to the right floor, you just have to get on one of the elevators and stop at every single floor.
I just guess they'd be near the top, so let's start at the top.
Okay, you start at the top and you work your way down.
Yeah.
And you go
Is he on the first floor?
No, you have to go 3 floors down before eventually you reach the dock, and the foreman, a dwarven guy, is speaking to 7-foot tall marble statue with prismatic wings, Zeltar, and just looking up at him, turns over to see you guys. I sent Jack to get you. Where'd he go?
He ran off into town.
He'll have a talking to.
Just throw him under the bus. Not even his fault.
Right. Welcome back. I'm sure that you've been able to see some of the progress that we've made. We've been setting up some temporary structures. Ideally, we'd like you to spend some time here sort of directing the efforts. I mean, it's generally nice to kind of put a personal touch on some of the construction, especially on the keep, since it's going to be, your keep. We can sort of make general work and patch the place up, but without any sort of direction, we're just playing by guesswork right now.
Sure, we can draw some plans up for you.
Wonderful. I don't want to sound a little bit strange. This is a very strange accusation for me to make with absolutely no context, but
Okay.
you haven't made any weird demands of my workers here, have you?
Weird demands of your workers.
Or just sort of stared blankly at them and then T-posed to intimidate them. I don't know where this is coming from. Like, I don't really know you guys. It just, I don't know. For some reason, it crossed my mind.
Doesn't ring a bell, sorry.
No.
Okay,
Oh, there we go.
sure.
We've only just turned up, you know. We haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to do anything
We
like
turned up. We.
You're right. That was
Yeah.
incredibly rude of me. I'm very sorry.
that. Yeah,
we
you're
turned up.
fired.
That's where you
How
were.
much are you talking
I'm.
to?
How dare you
alright.
accuse us? You're fired.
You just like
It's like-
gets on one of the ships. Like, all right.
No,
I'm on the
wait.
next
No,
ship
wait,
out.
come back. I was joking. Get back here. Sorry,
I'm not
we're just in a
fired.
bit
Hang
of a funny mood
Belay
today.
that.
Bad king fires his island's people.
Anyway,
Zeltar is looking on at this, just
Oh dear.
nonplussed, doesn't know what to make of it, and initially you didn't notice him simply because like he is a much smaller personality than the big like marble statue guy and the loud dwarf. But you see, holding a little clipboard is Virtue, who seems a lot more animated than when last you saw him. He looks up at fuck me, Zeltan, who
Zaltar.
Zeltar.
Salazar.
This is hell.
These are your characters.
we are a mess.
What is
tonight.
wrong with
Holy
you?
hell, what is
What's
going on?
happening to me?
What is wrong with you?
I'm running now.
You created him.
Write down a sticky note, put it on the screen logo.
We are a mess tonight. Oh my
There you
god.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Matt,
fine.
where are you? You got to bring us back together.
Jesus. I mean, he's in my bag. What are you on about?
Oh yeah. He can't help.
It's like flies buzzing in and out of the bag. No, so
He's in suspended animation, so he can't be getting flies.
not yet. So yeah, he looks up at Zeltar, and Zeltar gives him a brief nod, and he like tentatively like wanders over to you guys, and like takes a moment and clears his throat and says, "Welcome back, everyone. And I suppose I should start with a thank you."
I just immediately throw myself into a giant hug into him.
I was surprised you weren't hugging him already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, he's like immediately like doesn't know how to respond. It's like, oh, okay, sure. Hugs. Yeah, no, that tracks.
I haven't let go.
It's like kind of just awkwardly like, I thank you all for bringing me back. I'm not really sure what to say. I kind of spoke to Zeltar about it, and he didn't really have much advice. I don't think he really knows you guys all that well. It's been, I suppose for you, it's been a really long time. For me, it hasn't really felt like all that long, but a lot of things have happened. I'm really, really glad that I'm back and that you guys are all okay.
What have you been up
And
to
it
while
kind
you've, while you-
Dawns on you, he didn't really know Erlan. You picked up Erlan at the same time that Virtue left the party.
Oh.
They might have met like one time.
In between, obviously, all that, I kind of I'm still hugging him, and I just basically pick him up, as I more than likely could.
Yeah, he's like tiny compared to you.
Yeah, and I'm just like holding, still like hugging,
Mhm.
and I move away, and I sit him back down just a bit from everyone else, and I just basically just start discreetly apologizing to him and saying I'm sorry, and
He like gives you a second and says, Yulia, I hope this doesn't sound weird or rude, but you look really different from last time we met. I mean, you all look a bit different from last time we met, except for Art, who looks exactly the same. But I think that's like a shapeshifter thing. But you more so than everyone else. Is everything okay?
A lot has happened since we departed.
I can only imagine, given all the things that happened while we were traveling together. I know that quite some time has passed. When you've all got a moment, there are some things I'd like to tell you, things that I think is important for you to know about my time in captivity. But if you guys need a little bit of time or you need a moment, I'm not going anywhere right now. Zeltar has been looking after me, apparently. He was instructed to do so by Hyakin.
How much do you remember?
Of our time together or after my capture?
After your capture.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's a whole story. The answer is not as much as I think I should. For a while, I was held in a very nice cell in a cave somewhere not far away, I think, from Bulwark. They were doing some sort of experiments on orcs there, turning them into sort of like zombified servants. And for you guys, this is, of course, where you found Virtue's diary and learned that he was missing and Hyakin died. And he says, I remember that eventually, after I was proved a little bit too animate as a captive, they decided to put some sort of enchantment on me to make me more passive. One moment, sorry guys. Yeah, in order to pacify me. It sort of put me into like a semi-lucid sort of trance. And it wasn't lifted until weeks later, when I was in a Fomorian village under the, shall we say, care of a different mind flayer. He did some sort of ritual and cast some sort of spell on me, and that's more or less the last thing I remember. I know that a lot of time has passed since then. Obviously, you guys came and got me and brought me here and had me healed. After the guys, I went to the Far Realm and it was really bad. Like, if you guys have time, I can tell you all about it. But it was a really bad experience, and sort of after that, I wasn't really in any state to comprehend exactly what was going on around me. I knew at some point that I was with friends, but it was more like someone else was, like, my body was on autopilot and my mind was just sort of trapped elsewhere trying to deal with things.
Is he still quite like malnourished looking?
Over the last probably day and a half, he seems to have been under Zeltar's care, and he was eating more while he was with you as well. So he's definitely not looking nearly as bad as he was. He is very skinny still, like that takes time. However, he does look like he's eaten, decent meals these last couple of days.
Okay.
And he's certainly more conversational than you have known him this entire time.
I don't suppose, since Yolya won't talk about it, could we ask Virtue what happened on the other side of the absent range?
I don't even think he knows much on that.
Oh.
He says, I mean, if you have time, we could find somewhere private and I could tell you my side of the story. I imagine he doesn't know that it was only Yolya that actually got him.
If he can't remember what happened at the, in that campsite and anything else, then no, he probably would have no idea.
Zeltar doesn't know that. All Zeltar knows is you guys brought him here to be healed.
Yeah.
So that's all Zeltar will have told him. So as far as Virtue is currently aware, you guys all came to rescue him. And as far as he was aware at the time, he was with friends, like after his rescue, but that's about all he could really comprehend of the situation.
Yeah, I think
says, I don't want to interrupt if you have other business. I won't be going anywhere if you wanted to deal with other things in the meantime. But there is some things that I feel it's important for you to know.
we can talk soon, but there is just one thing that we need to get sorted beforehand. That's quite important.
Okay. Sure. He turns and says to Zeltar, Zeltar, I'm going to go after the foreman and see if he needs any help cataloguing any of the... and he doesn't really finish his sentence. He just steps onto the elevator and takes it down. And yeah, like large, like up until this moment, kind of impassive Zeltar with his prismatic wings looks at all of you, and then like takes a second, and his like gaze lingers on Hyarkin, and his eyes like flash in all rainbow colors. He says, "Master Hyarkin, you weren't cursed during your last excursion, were you?"
You notice anything different about me? Why are you asking?
I mean, I can literally see that there's a curse on you. I don't know what it does. I mean, I can break it if you would like. It's no problem for me.
I mean, I was cursed, but I can live with it.
I mean, it's no trouble for me. It's
No, honestly, it's no trouble for me either.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm going to let you try and figure out what it is.
I was going to say, are we as like the
Don't
rest
tell
of
him.
I aware of what
He like
actually what curse he's got on him, or is it?
I think you
just...
guys know, right?
But, well,
he
tell
like
us,
yeah. You
that's the
guys,
thing.
I feel like have made jokes
Yeah.
about it up until now. So
So we are aware.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just like
he like steps forward and like magics up like a magnifying glass and like stoops down to examine Hyarkin and goes, I'm seeing a lot of wild magic here, some sort of aberrant sorcery gone wrong. I can't see what the effect is, though.
I put my arms
It
out
just
and
doesn't
spin
seem
around. Look closer.
There just doesn't seem to be anything out of place. Is it some sort of latent magical effect? Is it waiting to trigger under certain circumstances? It seems
No, it's definitely already
very
active.
simple. I can't
Yolya
imagine that
are
it's very
visibly
powerful.
it's like okay. Listen, there's actually something way more important right now than whatever's wrong with Hyarkin. And at this point, I put my backpack down and pull and really bring out the now deceased body of Erlan.
Oh no, now it's getting serious.
He some of like the crew who are like transporting goods around you sort of like give you.
Oh
a
wait,
wide-
we're not alone.
You're still on like a platform next to a ship that was being unloaded.
Just before I actually reach in, then I look around at everyone and go, "Can
Did we
everyone
go
leave?"
somewhere else?
You just put a
like-
body on the floor. I think people want to leave.
The captain of the ship goes, "All right, let's break everyone back to your quarters," and like some of the sailors just like mill back onto the ship,
Where is the
and
party?
the captain's like, "Sorry, what? What'd you say, Rob?"
Where is the party?
I mean, you are currently on one of the upper like
Levels.
docks in the harbor tower,
Yeah.
like stood on a dock,
Oh, I'm confused. Where?
and
In
the
south
captain
of
says,
the
that,
arm.
do you guys need privacy for like a long time, or because we've still got like a lot of stone we need to unload?
We'll be 10.
Should
We'll be
we
5
go
10
somewhere
minutes.
else?
Okay, 10-minute break, everyone.
We'll do it here and get it out of the way.
Okay.
And at that point, when everyone's buggered off, I then go and reach and bring out the body of Erlan.
Mm-hmm.
So you put it back in first.
I know I retconned what I said and said I'll
Yeah.
wait.
The smile immediately is wiped from Zeltar's face. I have to keep looking down at what I wrote down every time.
Hey, at least you got it right. At least you wrote it right.
Zeltar's face, and he
Who?
says, "Oh, I see." And he like leans down to examine the body, and like for all of you, the body is like, it's only been a couple of minutes. It's been like half an hour, and he's been kept in the bag of holding, which is as close to a vacuum as you can get without actually being vacuum sealed. So like he's perfectly preserved. He's still warm. Like if someone told you that, he was asleep, aside from the hole in the back of his head, it looks believable.
Is it twitching?
It is not, because that's horrifying.
Is he farting yet?
Yeah, he has shot himself, but you're not sure if that was before or after his death.
More than likely before.
All right, let's not speak ill of the dead here. He died protecting Risu, so.
Anyway.
So yeah, Zeltar looks down at the body and says, "I'm so sorry. This is beyond my ability to heal. I could regenerate the missing brain. I could close the wound on his head, but I can't restore life. It's not within my abilities."
That's fine. I think that's the best. If that's the most that's possible, then that's more than enough.
Do you know someone who can, or might know someone who does?
My previous master could have done it. I'm sorry. There's things that I was asked not to talk about by my previous master. If my current master had told me to talk about them, then I'd be compelled to. But I have reason to believe that she still exists somewhere. Other than that, my knowledge of who currently exists is very limited. It's been a long time since there's been anyone around, and I certainly don't think any of the laborers here are going to be able to raise the dead. A cleric, a very powerful cleric, may be able to do so. But you're looking at some very powerful magic to bring someone back.
I'm sure we can sort that. We know some people anyway.
Okay, that's good news. I can, if we take the body back down to ground level, and we have some privacy, I could conduct a ritual to begin the healing process.
Yeah.
Could he
Sure.
preserve his body any better than
Yes,
Bag of Holding?
he can cast Gentle Repose, and it will give him another 10 days, starting from today, which basically puts him back into top condition. So it prevents any deterioration of the body.
So does that mean it would be easier to bring him back than it was Siakin?
As well, once he's done the regeneration on his on the brain matter and the head itself, then yes, it would also.
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, there will still need to be a ritual for it.
Yeah.
Of course.
There will still likely need to be some sacrifices, but it isn't as likely, unless you guys are going to go back to Illatran, that you're going to be sent to the elemental plane of fire to go get a genie to use as fuel source.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, yeah, so probably go find a more quiet spot to continue to do this.
So you all step onto another one of the cargo elevator. Well, I imagine that you put the body back into the bag and then step onto one of the cargo elevators, descending down past more ships unloading timber and stone and various sheets and cloths and bedding. As eventually you reach the ground floor, and Zeltar will lead you down to probably one of the houses down here, where people haven't occupied them because all the work is mostly happening up on the northern section of the island. And once again, you are very much reminded of the fact that this place was very well maintained, to the point where, while it looks on the map like there's crumbling walls, that's mostly just for you guys to know that it's not in top condition. This is a place that looks like it's been abandoned for decades, despite the fact that it's been abandoned for almost 1,000 years, because of the very dedicated work of Zeltar. And Zeltar will ask you to lay the body on a table, he clears off. This was once woodworker's workshop. You can still see that there's hammers and chisels with rotten handles. And when you do so, he says, this is likely going to take me a few hours. Closing the wound is not particularly hard, but regenerating missing limbs takes some time, and I can't exactly call on the body's natural ability to heal when there's no life. And with that, he begins to conduct the ritual, and some of it is him using innate spellcasting and magic. Some of it is chanting in Celestial. Some of it is using various herbal reagents and bringing forth natural power from various plants. There's almost something very druidic about the magic, which is a little bit surprising considering that this is a Celestial. And for all intents and purposes, sort of another hour later, which, I mean, once again, your body clock was thrown off really quickly while you were on the surface, because you slept in Erland's tavern under such strange circumstances. You've kind of thrown yourself into a state of jet lag where, for you, even though you only woke up, I don't know, an hour ago, maybe now, 2 hours ago, it's sort of late afternoon, early evening when the ritual concludes. And for all of you, it just appears as though the hole on Erland's head has closed, and the body now looks uninjured. He looks like he is in a trance, save for the fact that he is not breathing.
Is his beard still there?
Yep.
Whoa.
It's still like really grotty, and there's like stains and foods that's like stuck into the beard, and like it's grown like unevenly. And he's clearly like been chewing the mustache while no one has been looking, so like it's like really like uneven lengths.
Did we take him to a barber's before we bring him back to life?
Can we dye his beard before we bring him back to life?
Absolutely.
Dye it blue like me? Ah, I shouldn't have said that out loud.
What?
Nothing.
Zoltar looks over at you. Master Hierarchy, you've always been blue. You realise that?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Just, I'm
is
a
that
bit
what the
jet
curse
lagged.
is? Does it make you forget that your skin is naturally blue?
Yeah, I just forgot. That's all.
I mean, I can lift the curse. This doesn't need to be like a big deal. It takes like 10
it's fine,
seconds.
it's fine. Honestly, it's fine. You've reminded me now.
He
There's
like
no
holds
problem.
up his hand and it starts glowing. It's literally that. I have to just put my hand on your shoulder. That's all I have to do.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
Does Hayarkin
Don't trouble yourself.
Does Hayarkin say when Zoltar said, "Oh, you're actually blue," and Hayarkin acknowledges it? Does Hayarkin also say, "Oh, you've relieved the curse by telling me I'm actually blue"?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, thank you so much. I'm healed.
I can see curses. You're still cursed.
Oh, I don't feel cursed anymore. It's okay.
I think this entire conversation is cursed.
Moving on. I think this whole session's cursed.
Over the dead body of your friend Erlan.
It is quite a cursed sight.
There's something really morbid about this session, guys.
It really is.
This isn't the worst session we did. The one time we did like a midweek session where none of us could focus because we just like didn't work. That was terrible.
Yeah, I remember. that.
Oh, yeah, don't
Which
do a
one was
session after
that?
work again.
I can't remember.
I remember it being really cursed.
I think that's the one I've got no notes for.
Yeah,
I think me and Rob are hyper annoying.
yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
were.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
was
don't know
that
what happened to
the-
you two?
That was when you guys were in the elemental plane of fire, and every single one
Oh
of you
no,
in
we all
turn
kept asking you
asked
what's
me
going
what
on.
you had just seen. And like as I finished explaining it, the next person asked me.
Yes, I remember it now.
Wait,
That
where
was
are we
an
again?
Awful session.
Hey, I
I felt
paid
so
attention.
sorry for you
Oh.
that session, Logan. You were just
Poor
like,
Logan, that was
you
bad.
were, you were so upset.
Never again.
Did into my mind.
I mean, actually, why don't we try it again? I'm sure it'll be fine.
No.
No. Yeah, let's do it let's do it next weekend while I'm in Nick and Sarah's house.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
Alex
When
is
Rob's in
your
Alex's,
house.
And I'm Alex's.
yeah,
And you're in and Nick and Sarah are in a
and
hotel.
we're in a hotel with no Wi-Fi.
Wait, there's no Wi-Fi in your hotel?
There
Wow.
is.
Well, you know how bad hotel Wi-Fi is.
That's true.
We'd
well,
just
free
be
Wi-Fi is always bad.
exhausted.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi at the Premier Inn when we were in Birmingham wasn't too bad when we were there, Logan.
It was pretty bad.
No, yeah, it was bad actually. I remember now.
I'm
Anyway.
pretty sure every hotel's bad. Anyway, moving on. We have a dead friend in front of
You
us.
have a
Stop
dead
talking about
body
hotel
on the
Wi-Fi.
table. Yeah. Time
Making
for
Logan
a
laugh.
second.
Yeah, it's like,
Stop making Logan laugh.
I look back down now the repaired body. It's like don't really want to carrying this through the town. It's probably not the best thing.
I'm
Someone
gonna put him
wash
back in
his
the
beard.
bag.
I literally just take my backpack off again and just start pushing him
Stuffing
in.
his body back in.
Yeah.
I was like, this feels a little bit undignified. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like for
He never struck me as a very dignified man, but
I
this
was just-
feels a little bit in poor taste.
I was just about to say, it's like, listen, for the stuff this guy's done, trust me, this is more dignified than anything he put himself in.
It's more than what he deserves.
Oh, Erlan, man. He died protecting Risu.
Well, that's the problem. He died.
Wow.
Yeah, Erland
I
dying
remember
is his
that.
problem, not ours.
The DM will remember this.
It's crazy because Yo-Yo is actually the nicest one to Erlan.
Art just doesn't like him because he's not Gregory Dupont, or whatever his name was.
You
The
don't
guy
even
who
know who that is.
also never met.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, not Gregory. What was his previous
That
name?
was That was Matt's character in campaign 1.
Jesus, right.
Jeremiah was the paladin who he played at the start of this campaign.
Yes.
That was the one. He's not Jeremiah. He'll never replace Jeremiah.
Okay. Well, anyway. Right. Shall we head back to the castle? It's probably the best option now.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of need to speak up more with Virtue anyway. Get more information off him. He said he had something for us. Oh, and I actually also have something for him.
Mm-hmm. So you can return to the keep. Again, much of like the exterior has been closed up. It looks very plain at the moment, just sort of like a nondescript keep, because none of like the visual flair has been added yet, and some of the interior still needs renovation. However, some of the like more functional rooms have already been renovated. There is currently a sort of work in progress bedroom for each of you, as well as
saying work in progress.
Yes. Awaiting insight from, and then each of your names in front of each of the rooms.
All spelt wrong, because everyone on this
Yes.
island's,
Except for Ott, who is literally 2 letters.
they spelled it 2.
Great. Yes.
Jesus.
Okay.
I probably go to Erland's makeshift room and put him on that bed for now and just leave him probably just like as if he's asleep. He's tired.
He looks asleep right now.
Yeah, exactly. No one's
as long as you don't look at him for too long.
Yeah, no one's gonna know. It's fine.
He's been asleep for 10 days. He hasn't eaten or drank anything. There is also sort of a dining room that's been set up. At the moment, it's very plain, just stone walls and a wooden table with wooden chairs. However, it could potentially serve as a serviceable meeting place until construction completes.
Yeah, work then.
Mm-hmm. So you call for Virtue.
Yeah, I go find Virtue and
Ring a little bell.
get him to.
You ring a little bell. One of the laborers who was passing by is like, "There's no like serving staff here yet. I mean, we're still like renovating the. Do you want me to like fetch something? If you say food, I'm the same guy from earlier, so like, I'm actually
wouldn't mind some coffee and cheese.
I'm not doing it again. I can't eat all that.
Did you enjoy your meal earlier? Is he a little bit tipsy after having 5 glasses of wine?
I decide to actually get up and go find Virtue to bring him.
Okay.
What rings the bell again?
As I get up and you start ringing the bell, I grab it from your hand and throw it at you.
It's not like a full-on ringing. You just go dee 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 dee.
Yeah, and I literally grab it.
It's like a little dinner bell.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn this
Not
session,
like
man.
what's it? Not groundskeeper. Sorry, I can't think of the word. Hey, the guy who shouts "Hey, hey."
Oh, the town crier.
Yeah,
Town
not
crier?
Not nothing that significant.
Do we need a town crier?
You should get one.
If there's like lots
For
of
the
news
island.
that you need to like disseminate through this very small island very quickly, I guess.
I think there will be when we're back out on our adventures.
You're going to be making like lots of like very sudden snap declarations. Hear ye, Sir Hierarchin has now outlawed Christmas. Sir Hierarchin has now bought Christmas back.
Christmas
Praise be
cheer
Sir Hierarchin.
is banned
Jesus Christ.
until further notice.
I'm going to pay the town crier to declare that the king is dead.
The king is cursed, everyone.
The king is cursed.
Breaking news. He refuses to get it lifted.
Yeah, the labourer like takes the bell and begins like wandering around the place, going, "Lord Hierarchin is cursed. Hear ye, hear ye. The Lord is cursed."
Again, as this is occurring, as I've gone off to find Virtue, and it's just as we're coming back and hearing that, I'm just like, What on earth have you idiots said?
I like the idea that like you come back to see like him being scolded by the foreman again. Like, no, they told me to say it.
Thinks he's just going around making a nuisance.
And,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Rich, who eventually comes and joins you all in the dining hall, and says, "You call for me. I'm guessing this is for me to explain my perspective on everything that's happened to me and what I mentioned earlier."
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, thank God you're not just going to stare at me in T-pose. I heard about the last guy.
What last guy? That never happened.
He's still not the same. He's bedridden.
Bedridden? What the hell?
Psychic damage.
Yeah. You guys are 15th level now.
Anyway, yeah, let's continue with the story.
He says, right. I believe where I left off was in the Fomorian village. The Mind Flayer that was in charge of things cast a spell on me. From what I could tell at the time, I only got some very brief insight when the previous enchantment was lifted from me. It seemed to be some sort of variant of the astral projection spell. However, it didn't send me to the astral plane. As I mentioned before, it sent me to the Far Realm. And the Far Realm isn't a place that I would wish on my worst enemy. I don't particularly have a worst enemy, I guess, but it was like the air around me was made from, like, I don't know, like glass, I guess, like a solid glass. It just sort of stretched out infinitely in every direction, and light seemed to just refract through it and bend in all sorts of strange ways and colors that I couldn't really see just at the edge of my vision. And it was strange. I could breathe, but it felt more like I was eating whatever solid substance passed for air rather than just inhaling it. And within a few minutes, I immediately began to feel nauseous. I'd made the mistake when I was traveling with you of thinking that the reason you were sent to me was what I could tell you about the calamity, what my theories were on what it was, the same as I shared with you before we parted ways. But when I was in the Far Realm, I came face to face with Xernas, or at least a part of him. And he never said a word to me, but I felt him wrench my mind open and pull the thoughts from my head. He was searching for something. I think it was information about Nexus or about some place within Nexus. I told you before when we first met that I wanted to go on an expedition there because that's where I think the epicenter of the calamity was. Eventually, he found whatever information was in my head that he wanted and pulled it from me, and I no longer know exactly what it was. And he just sort of cast me aside like a broken toy. And eventually I tumbled back into reality. And everything since then has been a blur. I said already that I was vaguely aware that I was with friends after you guys rescued me. But I was too wrapped up in my own mind to really comprehend the exact situation that I was in. It was more like if my body was a carriage, it was driving itself, and I was in the passenger seat trying to complete a jigsaw puzzle that had most of the parts missing. And then the next thing I knew, it was early morning here on this island, a little under 2 days ago, and Zeltar had healed me. And he told me that you had all brought me here, and that you'd gone off to fight some mind flayers, and you'd be back soon. And that's my story. About as awful as you can imagine. Well, as awful as I can imagine. I don't know what you guys have been through in the last few months.
Kind of sit there and obviously put my hand on his to like comfort him, and just stare.
He still seems pretty shaken. Like, you think at least some of whatever was up with him was kind of a defense mechanism, and now he's sort of putting a brave face on while he has to deal with the memories of being cast into the far realm and seeing Zernas. And of note, it kind of feels like he's made an effort to avoid describing exactly what he saw of Zernas. Like, that's something that he doesn't seem to want to relive. He said, I'm not asking for anyone's pity or anything. The reason I want to tell you is because I've had a little bit of time to think about it. And if whatever information was in my head was so important that Zernas's cult had to kidnap me and drag me all the way to the far realm to get the information from me, it might be worth learning that information ourselves. And I wasn't a particularly well-traveled person before we met. I mean, I traveled a little bit more when I was with you, but it was still only around the eastern skies and only a small portion of it. So there's only a limited number of places where I could have originally learned whatever it was that that Zernas so desperately wanted. I think it would probably be best if I returned to the University of the Prismatic Shard, which is a thought that frankly terrifies me, because last time I was there I was kidnapped and dragged halfway across a continent and cast into the far realm. But I mean, they've got what they wanted from me now, so I don't imagine that they're going to bother with me again. He says, I'm not really sure whether that's wishful thinking or not, but I think whatever I learned about Nexus, I must have learned it there, and maybe if I go back there and I retrace my footsteps, I could figure it out again.
How long do you think it will take you to find that information again?
It kind of depends. Last time I was there, they threw all my notes into a cupboard, like a closet, and like presumed I was dead, and then I was kidnapped. So it's entirely possible that they've kind of filed away all of my notes again. Maybe it depends very much on what state all of my research was in, but maybe within a week or two of getting there.
Should be fine for you to do that. Maybe it's best to start with this, and I pull out and hand to him his notebook that he had. Maybe there's something at the beginning of this that will help.
He takes it and sort of silently flips through it until he sort of flips to the very back, where you know that there was several journal entries from after he was kidnapped and before he was first enchanted, and says, So, I guess you guys were following my footsteps after all, huh? Makes sense if you rescued me. Thank you. I'll have to spend some time reading through all this, I guess, and refamiliarizing myself. There may be parts of it that are unfamiliar to me, and maybe that can give me a clue what was taken out of my head. You're right.
It's fine.
He seems really out of sorts, having been given this back. And there's a part of him that does seem very grateful for it, and another part of him that has just been sort of handed a visceral reminder of his trauma.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Maybe we should have taken some pages out before we gave it back to him.
Yeah, the journal bit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He doesn't.
I mean, he's the one who flipped to where he knew that was.
Yeah.
He did this to himself, but it's clearly upset him a little bit.
Shall I ask him if he wants us to remove the bits that are painful to him? Or keep them
It's
preserved?
probably too late now if he's already.
He says, "No,
read over it.
it's we don't know what might or might not be useful information here. Best to leave it undisturbed for now. I'll take some time and I'll read through all this tonight, and maybe that will give me a head start and some ideas of what to look for when I'm there, when I'm back in the university." And he takes a second to sort of swallow and look up at all of you. And is there anything else you guys needed from me tonight, or can I go back to they set me up some temporary quarters with some of the other workers. I'd like to get started on reading this, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think we have anything else.
And he sort of thanks you and excuses himself, trying back off and placing his notebook, using the leather strap that's attached to it to sling it over his shoulder and place it back at his waist, the same as it was when you first met him. And rushes off back into the distance, back towards the sort of small shanty town that's been set up. For the rest of you, I have some more questions of where you would like to go and what you would like to do. Erland's body is not going to deteriorate for some time. So, while I imagine you probably all want to revive him as soon as
feels weird
possible,
delaying it.
from a character point of view, I'm aware that there is no reason for you to delay it right now.
Can we weekend at Bernie's him for a little bit?
Just out of really morbid, I just feel like doing it,
Yeah.
parading his corpse around.
We'll do what they did in YMCA song.
I don't remember them parading a corpse around in the
Well,
YMCA.
not corpses, but
Maybe I'm misremembering that song, but
Context?
Yeah. What?
So I'm thinking there's one. So there's 5 people. One of them's real. The other 4 are just fake. I don't know. Clothes.
well, is there a guy with mannequins attached to him on stick?
Yeah.
is that-
Yeah.
Wasn't that the joke made by the Simpsons with the Jackson 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, maybe. I don't know, but
I mean, it is an actual thing that has been done in performances before. I don't remember it happening in the YMCA. Maybe it did.
oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of something that.
You really are thinking of something. That something is nothing we know though.
Maybe it wasn't the YMCA song. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Tangent.
So, it's currently sort of early evening right now on High Ark Kingdom. Work has been suspended for the night, and some of the workers are, just finishing up dinner or starting to cook dinner for themselves. back in the town.
Should we go to the local tavern?
Mhm.
Is there a tavern?
No.
We have a tavern yet.
There isn't a tavern. There is sort of,
There must
a
be somewhere
central,
they're getting the
like,
drinks from.
yeah, there is a common area. You can see actually some of the workers have brought their families with them, and like with the expectation that clearly there's going to be a lot of work here going on. This is going to be like an extended contract for them. So, like, clearly some of the families have like begun making themselves useful, like setting up side businesses, and some of the supplies that have been bought are obviously like food and drink for the workers. So there is sort of like a makeshift bar in a common area set up in and amongst the town where, people are drinking and making merry. But for them, this is like a weekday. So there isn't many people who are like getting absolutely sloshed unless they are the seasoned alcoholics who are simply never sober.
I was going to say, but there are a few, right?
Yeah, absolutely. These are working men.
Can Hiarkin still drink someone under the table?
He no longer has that
I don't
effect.
think I've got a different curse now.
He can make a different game, He'll buy drinks to anyone who can guess what his curse is.
That's it.
Like some of the like more drunken people, like he's a demon.
That's the horns.
Like points at his horns.
I literally like sat next to him and said, "That's racist. He's a tiefling."
I've never seen a tiefling before. Virtue's like sat in the corner, like, oh.
Wait, Virtue's still here? I thought he went off.
Virtue,
You guys have like gone
read
to
your
like
book.
the common area. He's like
right, yeah, he's
sat
still
there
there.
with like his book on his lap.
Is
Oh,
he
he's gone there
crying?
to read it.
He's probably crying.
I
we go
go
and take him a drink?
if he's feeling all sad, I go over into him and like comfort him. Like, it's okay. These people are stupid.
I've been here like the whole time. How do they? I think he's just drunk. I don't think he like actually means he hasn't ever seen.
Yeah, don't worry about him.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just a drunken.
just a drunken idiot.
I think we should all buy Virtue a drink.
He's so
What, so he's gonna have like 6 drinks.
Actually, I would love to have 6 drinks right
Something
now.
else.
But
On
he
the
just sort of
way.
sets the bucket aside.
Oh no, we're gonna derail all his research again.
Something ale.
No.
Okay, what do they have on offer in this makeshift bar?
They have unfortunately not decided to bring something out. There is like some like craft beers and like there is some like very generic mead that has been brought over. There's some like fruity ciders that some of like the families have taken to drinking.
How many different types of how many different drinks are there?
There's like 4. Like it's not a big menu.
Okay. I'll have a quarter of all the options you have. And 1 glass.
Oh, you're gross.
The like 16-year-old boy who's like tending the bar right now is like, all in 1 glass. All right, sure. He just like goes to like each of the like taps and like quarter fills the glass, and like because of the head, it like immediately overflows and just like splashes on the ground. It's like, it's only dirt road anyway. And passes you like this. I mean, it's all golden, so it just sort of mixes into like this really murky color. Because you're mixing like beer and mead and cider, like they're all just the same color more or less.
I look at that drink and that's the most disgusting drink I've ever seen.
A young bartender's like, wow, I poured my soul into that.
I can't believe you say this to this very fine gentleman.
Yeah, like, I'm
Don't
right
lose.
here, man.
I just stop, stare at him, and say, "Just get me a cider."
Sure. And he like reaches below the bar and like pulls up like a sealed bottle and pops the cap off. And says, do you want a glass or?
I just take the bottle.
Okay, sure. Beer day.
How dare you, really upset
Really,
him.
like, surly, like, teenager.
It's
Um,
no manners for elders anymore, is there?
mhm.
No respect.
Did we actually ask Virtue what he wants?
Oh, I've bought him what he wants.
Oh,
Is it just that
Virtue
mix?
is drinking the horrible jungle juice.
Is it just that mix?
God.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
As
Which is-
I go over and say, "Trust me," and take the jungle juice out of his hand and pass.
But
him
I
the-
was gonna drink that.
It's like, trust me, you don't want to drink
You
that.
don't want to drink that.
Okay.
I take a sniff of it. How bad does it smell?
I mean, it's like beer and cider and like mead. It's probably very sweet. Like it probably tastes like a really sweet beer, and like not a particularly nice one though.
I take a quick sip of it, and it's like, oh god, ugh,
Yeah, it's
oh.
you know, it's got a really weird and non-distinct flavor profile.
I mean, it's not going to hurt you.
No,
No, it
It's-
won't.
it's 4 drinks.
It takes
All of
awful.
which are relatively similar. Like the weirdest thing is like mixing the real ale with like the fruity cider.
It's a snake bite.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god, it's good thing I gave you that.
The worker who you've been tormenting all day like goes up to the bar and is like, I want one of those too.
It's like I literally go no need and put that in front of
He
him.
like puts his hands up in the air, like, don't come anywhere near me. I don't want nothing to do with you. Like if I talk to you again, the foreman said he's actually going to take my insides and put them outside of me. And I don't really know what that means, but I don't want to test my luck.
Oh,
It's fine,
we
have
could.
have this
I'm
ale
sure.
here.
I'm sure one of my friends could show you through an image. One of you has like
Oh,
image spell, right? That they can cast.
I mean, I'm pretty sure both Hierarchan
Yeah.
and Ott do have like illusion magic.
Yeah,
Are you just gonna keep tormenting this poor guy? Because he's just trying to get a drink, man.
I would
The
lo-
like kid behind the bar like hands him
I would love
like
to.
the same drink. It's like, here you go, Dad.
I'd love to cast Reduce on this guy.
Okay. Was it a
Oh,
wisdom
I won't.
save?
Uh,
Oh,
I won't, but I'd love to.
please, he's probably got like a -1 modifier.
Or at the very least, blindness, deafness.
I think like enlarge reduce is like less bad than blindness/deafness.
Anyway, as
Mhm.
sit back down with Virtue and I ask him if has he read through much of the book yet, of his notes yet, or is it just
Says,
been wallowing on the last pages?
I mean, like, how long has it been since you sort of left him? Like, how long would it have
Half an hour.
been before you guys came down to the common area?
I guess probably
Oh, a
I
couple
would have
hours,
took an
'cause,
hour.
like,
I was going to say an
we travelled
hour
to
or two
the
just
south of
to
the island.
take a
You can
breath.
see he's on like the 3rd page. He's like, I didn't really start straight away. It took me a little bit to work up to it, and now you guys are here. I might just start on it tomorrow morning, to be honest.
No, it's alright. I'll get you a cider to help you loosen those brain cogs.
Uh,
Yeah, I always think better when I'm. I'm sort of starting to remember that like half of our time together was basically like a long pub crawl with extended bouts of violence in between the pubs.
That's one way of putting it.
I feel like our rhythm was kind of we go to an island, we go to a pub, you guys all get really drunk.
And then we go
Somehow an
find something.
adventure ensues. I'm horribly traumatized. Then we go to another island and another pub.
Welcome back, buddy.
I just think about it. I just think about our early adventures a bit, and it's just like, oh yeah, we did do that a lot.
See, you're getting
Still-
to the rhythm of things.
Nothing's
Right,
changed.
Still kind of do, except now it's more like life-threatening.
Like, the stakes have gotten higher. The pubs have remained pretty much the same. But I guess
eventually-
Rasulian is now legally allowed to drink. That's the big difference.
Yeah, she's not. She's not young enough. She's not too young anymore.
No.
Actually, for a while, Hayarkin could drink as much as he wanted and never get
I
drunk.
could. I still think I can, and I always regret it.
It was.
Is that the curse?
I
heard
it used to be the curse.
Oh.
At this point,
I've got a different one now.
At this point, I whisper to Virtue what the actual curse is.
No, don't do it.
No.
He
It's something to do with his feet.
So Yolia tells him that the curse is that he's blue, and Art tells him that the curse is something to do with his feet. And Virtue goes,
He still doesn't know.
"No, he was always blue though. Like, I thought the curse was new."
Yeah.
He wasn't always blue,
See,
but
no,
that's the thing with the curse. Is it was meant to turn him blue, but how do you turn a blue person blue?
see, the thing is, Virtue, I'd never be
Who
around,
cursed him?
Never be around
Himself. It's magic. Remember? It's stupid.
That's it. I'm going to get myself a drink. While
Virtue,
being
never
mean
be
about me.
around Hayarkin when he's like getting changed, you know, because if he uncovers his feet, you don't want to know what will happen.
Okay, I'm really. What is the curse?
That's
I'm
it.
really lost.
Hayarkin takes his shoes and socks off.
I look at him.
Like, people just immediately begin like running for their lives as they think something horrible is going to happen from like over here in the conversation.
At this point,
Great, we get the place to ourselves.
At this point, I look at Virtue and I just like dip and look at him and say, "Which one of us do you truly are going to believe?"
I mean,
I'll show
you,
Virtue my
Yolia.
feet.
You've always been. I mean, that is pretty cursed. I mean, I get that you guys do like a lot of walking, and there isn't really a lot of time for like, you know, a pedicure or anything. But I mean, like, there's definitely some hygiene that's missing
Okay,
here.
you can stop looking now.
Oh, God.
And like some of the people who had like began running as soon as there wasn't like a huge magical explosion of like milled back in. Like, okay, so we've ruled out the feet as a curse, guys. What else could it be? Like one of the drunken guys like walks up to you and like staggers up and like puts a hand on one of your horns. It's like, are your
can I help you,
horns
sir?"
cursed?
No, but I'll ram you with them if you don't get off me.
Okay. Like goes back to his friends. I don't think it's the horns, guys. No, definitely the horns. That's why he was so upset.
Oh,
And,
God.
I imagine that this is how you choose to spend the rest of the evening.
This is the whole
Just-
night now.
That's that, and yeah,
Mhm.
just talking to Virtue and just like being silly.
Mhm. The newly discovered jungle juice flows. It becomes, you know, something of a local favorite amongst the laborers that night.
Do they give it a name?
I'll let you guys name it.
I
All right. Don't all jump at the opportunity at
think
once.
I'm trying to think of something for Virtue.
Cursed feet.
Cursed feet. There we go.
Cursed, the cursed feet.
Cursed feet.
Okay.
That's the name of the pub as well.
Changing the name on the
The
front.
thing is, like, this is how pubs do get their names.
That's it. This is
Like,
the origin
that's not-
story.
This is a pub is going to be built here now, and it is going to be called the Cursed
The
Feet.
cursed feet, and no one will ever know why.
Everyone's like, so what's with the name of
I was
the
gonna say
pub?
because like pubs always have like a weird name, and
Yeah.
then you know there's a story for the bartender to tell.
Why is
I like
why
it.
is there so many pubs called the Red Cock then?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I think the cock was actually cursed red.
Yeah,
Cursed
that's it. The cursed cock. One of the labourers goes, "Ah, it's his cock. That's what's cursed. It fell off, definitely."
A blue
You
cock.
should check.
I unzip my trousers. No, I don't. I haven't had that much to drink.
Someone there was like, "Wait, it's blue."
Another cursed feat for Hyakin.
Another cursed feet.
Cursed cock is a worse name. Cursed feet is fine.
Yeah.
Huh? What's wrong with school?
Eventually, you guys, I'm assuming, all retire to your quarters, and morning comes. I imagine it's probably like not a super restful night's sleep. Partially because not like that much time has passed since you last slept, and also partially because you were all somewhat traumatized by the previous day's events. Cursed feet especially.
Did we get a short rest or what happened?
No, it'll be a long rest still. It's just not a very like restful one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That means I get my spell slots back.
Reset
Yeah.
slots.
Yay.
Yeah, you get back all your stuff. And dawn comes. I think like as you come downstairs, the foreman has like come to the place, and he is flanked by some kind of disgruntled looking sailors who the foreman says, Lord Hierarchian, hope you don't mind. These sailors say you borrowed one of their ships. They were, and then of course you guys teleported back. They were wondering if you'd left it somewhere for them, or
What do we tell them, guys?
We need a.
I quickly
Well,
Do you say
glance
that out
around,
loud?
like
I thought we were getting a rescue crew for it.
Yeah, that was something we need to sort out.
we were supposed to sort that out yesterday.
Things
you
kind
got
of
drunk
spiraled away.
instead.
Yeah.
Things
That's
kind of
just how it
spiraled away
goes.
from that. That's pretty normal. That's definitely our group. It's like we're meant to do something now. Let's just get drunk.
Our friend died.
I'll just tell him, don't worry, we're gonna get a crew to come and bring it back. We just got a bit waylaid with some of the more important business in the meantime.
Make a persuasion check. Because
Go
you
on,
did just tell them that their ship is unimportant to you.
Oh dear. I'm hungover, okay?
29, okay.
29.
Bloody
Alright,
hell! Plus 15 to persuasion. Holy shit!
Wow.
Charisma
Whoa.
caster.
Yeah.
Level 15, baby. The
Wait. I
this
wanna
seems to like pacify them for a while. And they're likely not going to send the debt collectors to take your kneecaps. So what actually are you guys going to do today?
Suppose we should sort out getting that ship back.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's definitely on the agenda. Is getting the ships.
I mean, there's plenty of like pilots and crews here at the island. They're all they're mostly like traders, but there are some seasoned captains amongst them who hiring them to like fly into a Skystone field and retrieve 2 ships, one of which is an unknown gnomish design, would probably run you about 150 gold to just like send a crew out to fetch it, and they say that they can bring the ships by in the evening.
Let's do it.
150 gold. Yeah, that's fine. We can pay them to do that.
You sure you don't want to barter him down, Nick?
I could
Rub
persuade
it in
them.
his face, say it's not very
Do
important.
you know whose island this is?
Yeah, yours. I know you're good for the money.
Damn it.
Oh. And you failed.
So if someone wants
Hey,
to
Cut
mark
it down
off-
to 100 and I'll get you a cursed feet drink later.
says
Are we-
weird. No.
we didn't pay
Make a
yesterday.
persuasion check.
We didn't pay yesterday.
No, we didn't.
No, I mean, like, you own the island.
I know, but workers.
You're paying all of their wages, as far as they're concerned. 23. He says, I can do 140. I mean, like, I need a crew of, like, enough people to pilot 3 ships, and I do need to pay them danger pay for going into a Skystone field on a trading vessel and then piloting back an unknown gnomish ship. I'm actually, like, not trying to scam you here.
That's a regular day's work for them guys, right?
No, we're
Elbow.
traders.
I'll
mean,
A
just-
regular day's work is like flying lumber through really safe stretches of sky.
I'll just elbow hierarchies. I stop shortchanging them and just pay them.
Okay, okay.
What are we gonna? At this point, I'm also like leaning and whisper. What are we doing about the other ship? Are they getting both?
That's
We've
the
only
deal
asked
right
them-
now, yeah. 'Cause,
Oh, they're
Yeah,
getting
they're
both.
gonna
Okay.
get both.
Yeah.
I thought I literally thought because we were only talking about the gnomish one that we were only getting that collector. I was thinking, what the fuck's going on with the other one?
But the other one's like a very standard ship. It's very easy to pilot, which is why it was given to you. So like that one's not really an issue.
Can they bring that back for our keepsies then?
If you wanted to buy it. The gnomish ship is yours. That's yours to keep or sell
Oh.
or do with as you please.
Oh, okay.
But the other one is rented.
No, you said there was. Oh, no, never mind.
You were saying something, Rob?
No. I misunderstood.
Okay.
Right, shall I mark
Yeah.
off 140 gold then? And
Sure.
we can pay that guy to go and get the
You're
ships.
still going to shortchange him.
I'll throw in.
Hey,
there.
he said
I was
he said
gonna say-
140.
I said,
I'll-
oh, okay.
Wait, originally he said 150, and then after
Yep,
I
and
persuaded
then you
him,
bartered
I
him
dropped
down
it
to 140.
Well,
So I'm going to pay him 145 and make it seem like I'm being super generous by overpaying.
What?
by the sounds of it, Rizu and aren't so pleased with you shortchanging this guy. So
I'm not. I'm
we're
giving him
happy-
5 more than he asked for.
We're happy to make up the difference.
Okay, fine.
He's
fine.
just like holding his hand out, like,
Just pay.
what are you gonna give me?
Let's
While
give
you
him-
guys are like debating with one another.
A firm handshake. No.
Ot like reaches up and shakes his hand.
Well, I've given 10
Okay.
gold pieces.
Oh, okay.
How much do you give Hierarchin?
141.
Okay, so he now gets 151 total. Good deal. Pleasure doing business with you. We shall bring the ships by this evening. We can. Well, we'll just have to see what docks are available on the harbour tower by the end of the day, but I'm sure there'll be enough for 3 ships.
Excellent.
I'll,
Good luck to you.
That's nice.
If you're still here on the island, I'll have a message sent to you that your ships have arrived. And like he just sort of stands there for a moment and then gives like an awkward salute and walks back off to his crew. And the crew like start mocking him, like doing the salute at him. Just like, get the fucking work.
As he's walking away, Ott says, "I can't believe he saluted incorrectly."
Wait.
Who was he even saluting?
What's he meant to do? A T-pose?
Is that the salute of High Our Kingdom?
It is, yeah. That's part of the origin story.
Okay.
After Ott's T-pose yesterday, it just sort of caught on.
So
If you do it in the cursed feet, you get a discount.
The hell,
I mean, the cursed feat doesn't exist yet, but it
Yeah, well,
will soon.
when it does.
Okay, this will
Can
be
we
your
make sure
first
that's part of
decree,
the rules?
is that they have to give a discount to anyone who does a T-pose.
Yeah.
Okay. It can be done by your will.
That is going to be my first official decree.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to get my town crier to tell everyone.
But then they won't make any money in the pub because everyone's
Oh,
too
yeah.
cheapo.
I mean,
gonna
it depends
get
how big the discount is.
1%.
I mean, it's for a T-pose. It's not like hard to get the 1% discount.
But I mean, but it's so insignificant, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sort of like an in joke for people who live there, more than anything.
Yeah.
It's the sort of thing where I could see myself not doing it out of just like, it's not worth the embarrassment. I'll just pay the extra 1% of the price.
Yeah.
So now we got those sorted. What's next? Kind of just milling about at the moment.
I mean, like, I can start listing things that you have on the back burner if you would like.
Yeah, let's hear what we've got.
Okay. I mean, currently you are waiting on the Sonic Oscillator. There's probably another week on that. There's also probably another week on the construction of your keep, which you've been asked to do some overseeing on.
Yeah, we could plan the design for it.
Yep. Rob, you received a message from the Thieves Guild in Phalanx asking for you to meet them whenever you're available.
Oh yeah, we got those guys to go to. Oh, God.
Obviously, if you were to teleport to Phalanx, that's then a day before you could teleport again. But
All right.
there's a couple of things that you have on the to-do list. Virtue is likely going to set off to the Citadel of the Moon today to begin his investigation in the University of the Prismatic Shard. You haven't actually gotten in contact with the dragons yet.
Do we need to alert someone at the university that he's going there?
Watch out for this.
Or does he need like someone there to escort him or something just in case?
I mean, he is technically like a member of the faculty there. Or like he's an alumni that's like doing an extended sort of project there. He's still like on their register.
Okay.
I don't think it's common knowledge that he's no longer kidnapped. So like if he shows up again, there's going to like be talk about it. But like he's not doing anything wrong by going back there.
We should arrange a fanfare for him for when he arrives.
Is he traveling by boat?
Yeah, how's he going to get there?
Yeah, he will most likely be taking passage on one of the trading ships on its way back to Citadel of the Moon. I mean, like, if I was to put you on the map for a second and show you.
It's a 3-day trip, isn't it?
So most of the ships are going to Duskwatch because that's the closest place. That's 1 day away. By ship, each hex we decided is 1 day's travel, so it's a 2-day journey to get to the Citadel of the Moon by boat.
Right. I'm waiting for the bloody map to load up properly so we can see things better. So we've got to either go contact Dragon's Rest to organise meeting them, but that can obviously going to wait in the long term.
Well, I mean, like, you can send a sending spell ahead of time.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. To say, like, we're on our way. We've got to go back to Rampart because we need to speak to Thingy, or we're going to Citadel of the Moon. Oh, no, sorry. Virtue's going to Citadel of the Moon. We don't need to go there.
I mean, you can go with him. You could help him search if you wanted.
I was just thinking that, actually. I say to the rest, like, I don't particularly want to, if you all go to do your thing, I don't particularly want to meet those people again. So if you just contact me once you're finished with speaking to them, I can meet up after and I'll go with Virtue to help him.
Was one of the islands at risk of being under a siege, under attack?
I mean, like, there's an imminent invasion on, Far Ward. But,
oh, no, I think
again,
Citadel of the Moon or Bulwark, sorry.
Again, there's, like, no immediate knowledge of, like, when that's going to be. Same as there's no immediate knowledge of, like, when everything's going to kick off with Dragon's Rest.
Right.
Where was Gareth's shops again? Was it there was one in Rampart, and was it in Bulwark? Was it, or was it?
It's Bulwark and Phalanx.
Phalanx. That's it. Not Rampart. Sorry, ignore me.
Ramparts
So we got-
itself.
Yeah, Phalanx and Bulwark. That's it. Okay. So it's like I can travel with Virtue and then meet you in Phalanx once you're finished, because it'd be quite easy for me to travel from Citadel of the Moon into Bulwark, and then from Bulwark to Phalanx through Garrus.
Mhm.
Being that
Depending on how you get to the Citadel of the Moon, if you are taking the same ship as Virtue, it's a 2-day journey. You could teleport, and you've got enough leeway to just take Virtue with you, I guess. You could all teleport to the Citadel of the Moon, and then from the Citadel of the Moon, everyone apart from Yolia and Virtue could take the elevator down to Bulwark, and then take Gareth's shop into Phalanx.
There are no teleport circles that would be easier to get to.
there is a teleport
Yeah, each
circle
of the
you have
cities
access
has a teleport circle.
But we need to be at
You
a
have to
city
pay
that
to
has
use them.
Yeah.
and we also need to be at one that has one already.
Yeah, so each of the cities has one. So, like, you would have to teleport to a city and then use the teleportation circle from the city to go to another city.
or you go through Garrus because we negotiated a deal. Do you remember?
We had a deal.
Yeah, I remember. That's easier.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Because that was one of the things we're going to do, is also set up a shop at one of Gareth's shops in the keep,
Yeah.
or on the island, so that we can easily travel through all these places without burning such a high level spell.
But Hayar Kingdom's going to have a teleportation circle, isn't it?
Well, it will, and we can
when
use
it's
that.
built,
but
we have to
it's-
get someone to do a ritual or something.
yeah, and
Every day
maintain-
for a year. It'll
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah,
if
I
you're
remember it
paying
was a long
someone
time.
to do it, it's a lot of money.
Mhm.
Because you basically had the option of either an elevator down to the surface where you can claim some land there, or the teleportation circle. And I believe you chose the elevator because you can already teleport to and from the island yourself.
Yeah, we did, because you said
Yeah.
it would be safe enough to teleport to the surface and then go up from there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens when we get rid of the cloud layer, and
we
the
don't know yet.
ground the ground is it's got sun on it. Will all these big islands fall out the sky? Is Phalanx going to land on the Citadel of the Stars? Sorry, the other way around.
We don't know.
You don't know?
Oh,
It's something that no one knows.
millions.
It's
dead.
something. I feel like it's something that like Otter's had in the back of his mind of like, this is something that I want to do, but you don't really know how you would go about doing it. Yeah, maybe worth doing some research into the matter.
Yeah. Like if
You
we
are
are like
certainly not the first person who has ever had this idea.
So yeah, shall we? So how do you want to do this? Do we just want to all travel to teleport to the Citadel of the Moon, so we can sort ourselves out from there, or did we want to? Or did you guys want to just go straight to Phalanx?
So Citadel of the Moon is where Virtue wants to go, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's our business there?
So I said like I go and help him because
Oh.
I don't, because if you're going to go to Phalanx to
Oh.
deal with your thing, I don't particularly want to meet the people from that who want to meet you because of my past dealings with them.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of not meet them. So I would rather, if you guys
So
go
you're
do
going
that,
to the
I'll
Citadel.
go do something else.
Yeah.
Sure. And does Hierarchin have any
Go and
business
go
elsewhere?
and visit family.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's right.
That's what he's going
That
to
was
do.
the excuse
visit
that
family.
you gave to Erlan was Yolya is
Yeah.
visiting family.
Yeah.
I don't particularly want to meet this family again. Other than the
Jedry would
one.
be extremely offended. He was never anything other than pleasant to you.
He might have
Okay.
been pleasant
Wait,
to
can we
me.
not go
I
to-
know exactly his dealings with it.
Like-
What were you saying, Rob?
Since Duskwatch is closer, why don't we go there to travel? Or is there no Gareths there?
There isn't. There's a teleportation circle at Duskwatch. It's a day's travel to get to Duskwatch.
Rather than like 2 days. To
Yeah.
Citadel of the Moon.
Or like not even a day because we're like using teleportation and then also like weird demi-planes thanks to Gareth.
Yeah, it'd be like a few hours.
Yeah. So it could be like half a day rather than a full day. Or 2 days.
So yeah, to Citadel of the Moon then? Straight there? Is that what you're thinking, Alex?
Okay, is that where you want to teleport to?
That's how we're gonna. If that's how we're gonna do it, yeah, we can.
Yeah, I'm happy to if
send-
everyone wants to go there.
Send and let send go all together with Virtue and then separate, go our separate ways for a couple hours, I guess.
I mean, High Arkin's always happy to go back to the university.
So, yeah, once again, you teleport from the fountain to the Citadel of the Moon, where you are like greeted with drawn swords because once again you've just
We didn't give him a
teleported
heads
into
up.
unannounced, teleported into the middle of the city, and
That's on high alert.
Oh, shout
Yeah.
on guard!
like a
Please
couple
don't.
of spears like point towards you, and you like duck under them.
Hey guys, it's us.
It's like
Calm down.
we should really remember to tell these people that we're coming.
It is a
Like
problem.
one of the scribes at the university, because the teleportation circle is underneath the university. So, like, one of the scribes at the university who's like manning the teleportation circle is like, "I'm sure I told you guys last time that you could contact me before you arrived. I'm starting to think this is just like an on-purpose thing."
What's his name?
We're forgetful.
He says, "My name is Philip Vicario."
Philip Vicario.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely one of the people.
That's my name. What? What are you gonna make something of it?
No, I was just saying that that's definitely the name of the person we were told
Yep.
we could contact.
Philip.
See, we just forgot your name because it's so unmemorable.
Yep. So unmemorable that the DM just had to write it down as well.
It's like
Oh,
no, we're just forgetful, guys. Come on, let's just be real here for a second. We really are forgetful.
He looks Virtue, who is still like in his uniform, obviously like kind of beaten up and then like patched up, and like looks at Virtue as student returning to the university. Welcome back. Is there a member of faculty I should let know? Or Virtue says, yeah, if you could let the dean know that Virtue has returned. I'm going to be going over some of my old research. I'll need some accommodation for a few days in the meantime. I don't know whether my room has been kept open or not.
I lean into Victor and says, "Remember, your room was with the dean."
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if anyone told you. That was like something they told you to like shut you up. I never stayed in the DM's room.
That son of a bitch.
It's probably for the best. Like, he might have gotten hurt when all the things went down. Philip's like trying to like listen in. It's like, is there something like I should be aware of? Some message I should pass on? Or like, he clearly doesn't recognize who Virtue is.
No, Virtue was just a
Yeah.
person at the thing. It's probably thousands of students here.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I just go, well, he is probably the foremost on issues to do with the calamity. So, I'm surprised you haven't heard of him.
Make a roll very quickly. It's not free. Yeah, nope. Sorry, never my field of study. I was teleportation. I can teleport people if you want. you want me to send you somewhere, or well, I suppose you already came here, so.
No, it's fine. At this point, I look at everyone else and I'm just like, right. So I'm guessing you guys are going to probably head off towards Phalanx again to go and deal with your issue, Art.
Yep. I will be.
Philip says, "Yeah, I've already sent a message to the dean. I haven't had a response. So I said, yeah, it's a little bit early in the day. He's normally working on other projects until about sort of noon. I mean, I suppose you already know your way around. You can make it back to whatever your research was going to be." And Bishop says, "Yeah, thanks, Philip. We'll just be going now. Good luck with whatever this business is, everyone." He like sidebars to Yolia is like, "This isn't going to be like exciting work. You don't actually have to help if you don't want to. I get that you just
I lean.
really
It's I
want
just trust me. I would much prefer to do this than.
Yeah, I kind of get you didn't really want to go do whatever they were doing. I just mean like if you wanted to like go and explore the city, I wouldn't be like upset with you. I mean, you're welcome to, stick around if you want. It's just going to be a lot of me reading through old books and poring over maps.
I'd rather help you. There's not much I want to see in this city anyway.
Okay. And yeah, you both set off into the university. One thing I suppose like all of you will set off together and then like almost immediately separate. One thing you will notice is a lot of the like super high security has died down. Clearly all of the VIPs who had been in the city have returned to their homes. So the guards around the place are now guards from the Citadel of the Moon rather than from Duskwatch on loan. Those of you who are trying to get to Phalanx, were you planning on using the teleportation circle and paying, or were you planning on taking the elevator down and using Gareth's for free?
We're gonna go visit Gareth, not just
Okay.
for traveling. I mean, we do like his shop. He's a very good friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some time to kill, so shopping's not a bad idea.
So
Shopping episode.
Don't tell him that. we're only here to kill time.
So you again make your way down to the elevator. It's a long, and you're sort of starting to get used to the feeling of like using these elevators, descending into the clouds, into complete darkness. Eventually, you sort of see below you the lights shining of the glowing city of Bulwark. You descend into the streets, which are all kept immaculately clean and glowing almost unbearably bright, as though just no shadow can be permitted to exist in this city. You make your way through the now familiar streets to Gareth's Glamorous Goodies, where you step inside the portal to see the shop being attended by Gareth's apprentices and assistants, and no Gareth. One of the assistants greets you on the way in and says, Master Gareth hasn't finished with the project he's been working on you all for. Is there anything I can help you with?
Potions!
I can help you with potions, yes. Are there any particular potions, or I can give you some idea of our inventory?
I really need greater healing potions.
I just love the fact that Reese has been kind of like quiet and just letting
And
us idiots do stuff, and then as soon as you're inside Gareth and is asked like what to do, she just out of nowhere perks up potions.
Well, usually Otter takes it as soon as we come in, so I was like, no.
Do I?
Yeah.
Do I? Feigning
Oh,
ignorance.
do I?
Okay.
I ask the shopkeeper if he can guess what my curse is.
He immediately pulls up a magnifying glass and spends a first level spell slot to cast Identify on you and says, "Oh, it's a wild magic surge. It's turned you blue."
Oh, god damn it, you're no fun.
It's a good thing you didn't.
I'm a wizard. You think I don't have Identify? I work in a magic shop.
Okay, well done, sir. You got me.
What did you bet?
How long has it been since you guys actually bought potions from Gareth? I don't believe you bought any last time you were here. So I think it will have been before you went to Dragon's Rest.
Are you going to say he's got a good stock?
He has got a better stock than usual, actually.
Good stocking.
The apprentice reaches up and says, "Actually, we have something a bit unusual. We do actually have a superior healing potion in stock. We've had time to craft one. It runs a little bit more expensive than most potions do, simply because of the distillation process, but it is also more effective than most potions you'll find on the market."
How many? How much?
So a normal healing potion is 2d4 plus 2. A greater healing potion is 4d4 plus 4. And a superior healing potion is 8d4 plus 8.
Wow.
I'll take
Wow.
one.
Okay, how much is one of them?
He says, because of the actual process of creating more difficult potions, the price does increase exponentially. So while the price, the standard price for a greater healing potion is 50 gold pieces, I believe. I should double check that before I overcharge you. The price for a superior healing potion would be 10 times that, so 500 gold pieces.
Risu still want one.
We do also have greater healing potions. We currently have 5 of them in stock, and we have another 5 standard healing potions.
Right. Can I trade with him some standard healing potions for some greater healing potions?
He once again pulls out the magnifying glass and says, "I hope you don't mind. I'm going to have to take a moment to identify these. I used my spell slot on casting it on the curse. I have to do it as a ritual now. It takes 10 minutes."
Sorry, guys.
Does he only have one spell slot?
He's like a nobody wizard, like shop assistant.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
was
an
kind of-
adventurer.
He was kind of boasting about being a wizard.
Yeah.
But he's only got one spell slot.
Yeah.
Can I pull something out of my inventory? Like, is this worth anything? Spawn of Ferendus tongue? Ferendun?
He looks at it and says,
I don't know where I got it from.
"I know where you got it from." He doesn't. He goes, "What the fuck is that?" That's
Skinhouse! Here?
He just immediately like starts calling Taito.
Taito's just gone and wandered and started chewing on some of the armor.
Mm-hmm.
Still very expensive.
He says, "That's something that I don't recognize or really know. I can
It's
see
Taito.
that it's magical. It's probably worth some money. I don't know if I could personally put a value on it. It might be something for Gareth, who
Okay,
is
I'll hold
kind
on
of
to it for
indisposed
now
at the
then.
moment. It is definitely worth money. I just don't know how much because I'm not really. I'm just kind of watching the store for him while he works on his projects. He does this sometimes whenever there's a big project."
That's fine. Is it alright if I purchase some greater healing?
Yeah, they are 50 gold each.
How much, sorry?
50.
Wait, so even since him becoming our business partner,
He doesn't know about your discounts. This is just a shop assistant. You could tell him about it.
I'll
believe-
buy 2.
I believe we should inform him of our status. We're directors of Gareth's Glamorous Goodies.
Well, I bought 2. Or I buy 2.
Are you buying them at 50 gold pieces?
Yeah. Gareth
Okay.
needs money to back him.
Sure.
I don't want
Looks
to-
at the magic items lining the shelves, and every time you come here, it's different magic items on display. Maybe he just has rotating stock that he puts on display. Maybe he actually does sell on some of these things.
Oh,
I reckon
does
he
have-
sells. I reckon that's why he's.
I mean, he must make some sales, otherwise he would still be in business.
Does
Wouldn't
he
be
have
in
any
business.
armor?
Yeah, definitely. Armor for you, or
Oh, for me.
the shop assistant pulls up a heavy tome and begins opening it, and you can see the text shifts and changes what it displays as he opens the page. It displays what is on there, even though the page was previously blank, and looks up at you. What sort of armor are you currently wearing?
16. Armor. Breastplate, that's all.
Is it medium or heavy? Sorry, medium or light?
Medium.
Medium armor. Okay. He says, currently we have a few pieces of medium armor in stock. We could potentially make it into mithril. I believe one of your friends, who I guess isn't present with you currently, had his armor made mithril previously. It would allow it to count as being significantly lighter than most armor it is. It would allow you to have your own agility contribute more in fights rather than just relying purely on the armor. Mechanically, it would make it light armor rather than heavy armor, so that you can just add your dexterity modifier to your armor class rather than 2 to your armor class. He says, alternatively, we do have armors which can confer resistance to various elements. We could outfit you with, say, cold resistance or acid resistance. Some of the nastier elements, like fire, may cost a little bit more. 1 moment. Yeah, so you currently have breastplate then.
Yeah.
It says. Yeah, he could either for standard breastplate is 400 gold. To make it mithril, probably add another 400 gold to the price of that. So for 800 gold, he could make it into mithril, which would make it easier to enchant in future and make it so that rather than just adding 2 to your armor class for your dexterity, you would add 5 to your armor class.
I am but a small poor bird.
Alternatively, he could give you some breastplate of resistance, which could be used to half incoming damage of whatever element you choose, and the cost would be dependent on which element you choose.
Okay, I think I'll hold off for now. Is he likely to have it next time?
Sure, yeah. Armor enchantments are fairly common, and simple enchantments especially. We tend to keep some in stock. So if you were to return next time, if there's anything in particular that you're interested in, and if you're likely to come back for it soon, we can generally hold stock for up to 2 weeks. Sometimes adventurers are they come into very sudden bouts of being very cash rich, and just waiting for the next windfall. So we're quite used to waiting on customers and holding on to stock for them.
Okay, let's
You
have a turn.
Points at like a whip that appears to be made out of fire and says, there was a group of adventurers who came in about 3 days ago who asked us to hold on to that for them. He says, if there's other potions you're interested in, we do have a couple that are currently in stock. We have a potion of Speak with Animals. After Mr. Ott's previous request, we actually have a couple of potions of Stone Giant Strength in stock.
Yeah. Option for normally costs around 150.
It's the Hill Giant. Stone Giant is stronger.
What?
So,
How much is it?
should be, I believe. Hill Giant was 150. Stone Giant will increase your strength further than that.
Oh,
But it would
okay.
cost about, we'll say 225 is fair.
Maybe I didn't update my notes for that. Fair enough.
We also have various scrolls that are available. Perhaps a scroll of sending could be provided. We have, and he sort of like looks at all of you and sees that like you're kind of above the level of most of the scrolls that they have in stock, and he just sort of like flips the page over. It's like, yeah, I don't really think you are going to be needing most of these.
So it's got a message. Oh, and sending. Yeah, he's gonna let me trade some potions with him?
Yes, so he does look through it. Actually, tell a lie, potion of superior healing would be 450, not 500. Either way. He says, all of these potions seem to have originally come from our shop. They are still unsealed. If you want, we can, as long as they were purchased within the last 30 days, we actually do have a refund policy on them.
Huh.
So,
these were probably bought ages ago.
Oh, I see. Do
Do
you know how much you paid for them? Because you mentioned a discount, and I mean, like, if I give you the standard 25 gold pieces back in return, then it might be like, maybe you only paid like 20 gold pieces for them, and you've just made 5 gold off my ignorance.
I think I paid 19 gold.
Okay. For some reason, I feel compelled to trust you. I mean, I'd be willing to offer you 19 gold in exchange for any of them then.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I had written in my inventory. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay.
Dungeon Master is aware. This guy is not. You could have totally cheated him.
I won't. I really like Gareth and his weird person.
Okay, so
yeah, I mean, I'd rather save a inventory slot and just have greater healing potions. So I'm willing to give him all 4.
Okay. He says, I'm aware, obviously, that you do apparently have some sort of a deal worked out with Gareth. You wouldn't happen to know what the discount is that he provides you, would you?
Not the exact discount, no.
Okay. Well, I mean, your friend has just bought 2 great healing potions for 50 gold each. I'd feel like a little bit bad if I suddenly charged you less.
Well, you're welcome to give them their discount that they forgot about.
Risu, are you still present?
Yeah.
He looks at you and is sort of like expecting you to like kick up a fuss and ask for like money back.
Nah, I'm preoccupied with.
She doesn't seem to mind.
Preoccupied with stopping Taito from chewing everything.
He says, "Okay, well, in the absence of other deals, given that you do have a deal with Gareth currently, how's about we do 40 gold each for the potions of greater healing?"
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. So is he taking all 4 healing at 90 apiece?
If you give him all 4 at 19 apiece, he will take them
Yes.
and sell them on for 25 apiece.
Okay.
It's like, they're sealed. They're from this shop.
Okay, let me make note of.
He says, "Is there any other potions that interest you at the moment? We could do potions of fire resistance. I mentioned the potion of speak with animals.
Can I have? Oh, I don't know why. Hang on. I don't know if I want another potion of gaseous form. Let me just check what it does again.
The thing with a potion of gaseous form is you can't disable the effect early. He says, I could do you a scroll of gaseous form."
So is that just going to be another spell then, or? How does that work?
You would basically be able to cast it as the spell, but without expending a spell slot.
Huh. How much does that cost?
So you would be able to cast it early. I believe gaseous form is a first level spell listed. Second one check. Gaseous form is a third level spell. Interesting. So let's see if I can find another third level spell to check against. No. Okay. He says, to do it as a scroll, I could do it for 240 gold pieces.
Sorry, I'm just working out how much. Sorry, 76. No. 1153. So what? It's 100
240.
240 for a scroll of gaseous form.
Mhm.
Nah. I mean, I'm not that interested. I don't know why I was kind of following up. Right. Well, how about armor? I fancy changing my armor. I've currently got leather armor. Judging by my size, what do you reckon I can get away with carrying?
Are you sure you've only got leather armor?
Well, according to my inventory, I do.
And he says, I mean, leather armor is already light armor, so getting it as mithril wouldn't be very helpful. I could offer you a similar deal to what I offered your friend and give you an armor resistance. Leather armor is significantly cheaper in design than breastplate is. I could give you leather armor of resistance for 600 gold pieces. Or probably 800 if you wanted something more common like fire or lightning as the resistance.
So, what, cheaper if it's just specific to like fire or lightning?
No, more expensive if you wanted fire or lightning. If you want literally any other damage type, like radiant or necrotic, frost, then it would be 600.
I'm gonna go for a fire. Wait, so what was this mithril thing?
Mithril, there's no point in you getting because you already wear light armor.
Ah, okay.
Mithril moves it down one category, so heavy armor becomes medium armor becomes light armor.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go for fire resisting.
Okay, so leather armor of fire resist. Oh, hey, it is
Hello.
Matthias.
Hello.
Hello.
Ah.
You joined us for the shopping episode.
Oh, brilliant. What else could I want?
They've been delaying.
Yep.
They
Fair.
traumatized some workers. You're currently in a bag.
You're frozen.
No,
in the
no,
bag.
he's not. We left him. I left him
Oh,
in
right,
bed
he's
with-
currently in bed. Sorry.
He's in
Oh.
bed, asleep.
Well, a big wound in your head's been healed at least. So
Yeah.
you can be thankful for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
you have
got
your
that.
brain back.
Sick. That's nice. It's the small things in life.
hmm
Oh, Christ.
Okay,
Right.
so just quickly, Rob, you were talking about leather armor of fire resistance then.
Yeah.
Okay, so 800 gold pieces for that,
Okay.
and you can mark it. Statistically, it is exactly the same as your ordinary leather armor. However, all fire damage you take is now halved as long as you wear it, and it does not require attunement.
Right. And in that case, I'm gonna get rid of. I'm gonna sell him back my fire resistance potion.
Okay,
I'm making
it
sure. I'm
is one that
taking
you bought from Gareth, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah. So how much was the So yeah, how
The
much was the armor?
800 gold.
800
And he can give you 150 gold for the potion. And with that, we will cut the shopping short, since Matt is here now.
Right.
Sorry, how much for the fire resistance potion did you say?
150.
150.
Okay. Accountancy sorted.
Yeah, I'll update it in a second.
Okay. I would ask if anyone else has any shopping to do, but
Well, I'm
it's
fucking
already
dead.
yeah, it's 10:15, and your friend is dead. Ordinarily, I would ask, do you want to continue on with what your previous plan was, which was to go and visit the Thieves Guild, or do we want to handwave that and with a bit of DM fiat say you go and pick up Yolia and are suddenly compelled to bring Erlan to Dragon's Rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, should we do that now that Matt's here?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
I
like a
believe we
plan.
should
can
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
You know, forget those guys. They're a bad influence.
I nearly wrote.
They are. They're a Thieves Guild.
I nearly wrote fire resistance potato in my in my notes.
Oh, that's sick.
I will create a magic item for the armor after the session as well,
Fire
before next
resistant
session.
potato.
And also for the potato. You guys can go and pick up Yolia. Yolia, for you, it has been a lot of like intimidating students into like finding out where Virtue's like research has been put, and like some of it has been filed away, some of it was kind of respectfully left aside because he was kidnapped. And then the rest of the time has been sort of spent like just watching as he like reads or pores over maps, and like he goes to point something out to you, and there's oh wait, no, you're not from this world. Okay, never mind.
I obviously compel him to tell me, though. I'm like, no,
Mhm.
go on. I might not understand, but
I like how fine
helps.
people are in this universe. Sorry for over talking. I like how fine people are. The idea of just we're not from this world.
Well, I mean, like Virtue has had time to like come to terms with it. Half the people like don't know. Half the people think it's like just a hype story that's like told about you, and like don't really believe the bards. So it's kind of more like tied into like your myth of like you're all heroes from another world, come to save us.
So everyone's like, okay, that's just like embellishments.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex.
Yeah, but I basically just be like, oh, no, explain it, and obviously let him.
A lot of it is like very dry, and it's like, oh yeah, well this scholar theorized blah 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 blah.
And as he just halfway
Like you
through,
just immediately eyes glaze over.
It's just like it's like I let him like start talking, and all of then it just starts merging into white noise, and all I hear is
Yeah.
white noise afterwards.
You're
Like
like
the Homer
nodding,
Simpson.
like, yeah, that's very interesting. Thanks for
Yeah.
telling me.
Yeah.
Is it like the Homer Simpson clapping monkey? Just kind of like.
Maybe. There's it's not like O'Malley dumb, but she's not
Mhm.
smart either.
Yeah, she's not like a scholar. Anyway, the others come by to pick you up, having not gone to Phalanx, and you are able to take the teleportation circle. We're going to hand wave it and say that you are able to teleport back to Higher Kingdom, and then you can find Erland's body undisturbed in his bedroom.
Makeshift room.
Yeah, which is, I mean, like, it's a functional bedroom. The bed is comfortable, but like, there's no decoration to the place. Like, it's not really. It's like a hotel room. There's nothing personal about it.
And like a certain tavern, but you know, you guys can't go there. Seeing as I'm fucking dead. So.
You guys never actually changed him into clean clothes, so he is still like has shot himself when he died.
Oh yeah, we forgot to do that. Oh well.
And,
I mean, it's all respect, isn't it, guys? We give him the respect he deserves.
Mhm.
I fucking died, shat myself, and you guys haven't even bothered to like clean up the smell.
We've been suffering with the smell, but we
You
thought
do
it's
not
only...
know what they've spent the last day doing, Matt. It's been
Shopping.
largely shoving you into a bag of holding and asking people about whether they can guess what Hierarchin's curse was.
Great.
The answer
guys.
is
Hey,
it's
we've
that
been
he's
we've
blue.
been doing some important stuff too. Come on,
We named
give
it
us some
Bob.
credit.
You
Yeah, we named
the
a pub.
That's true.
Oh, glad you've been keeping busy, guys. In my fucking absence.
Well, we didn't want to continue the main actual story
Yeah.
without you.
We should have revived him. In fact, we should have just put his body in a blender.
I like narrate to myself.
Blender body.
Okay. I tell you what, we will do the first part of what I had planned for Matt, and you guys can teleport into Dragon's Rest, and that's where we will leave the session for tonight, because it is almost 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, Erlan, your memory of the last 12 hours of your life is etched perfectly into your mind. You remember sneaking past the guards outside of the cave. You remember the horrible feeling of the psychic connection that the Elder Brain used on you and Hierarchin. You remember vividly the visions of the Fang of Immolation taking over the Mind Flayer colony of Yggdrasil, and the strange poem that he seemed to be reciting while he did it. You remember your allies negotiating an alliance with the Elder Brain, and the conversations about whether it was ethical to allow them to continue exist, knowing the harm that they must inflict on their victims in order to survive. You remember betraying the Elder Brain and the desperate fight that followed. You and Hyarkin came out of the gate slinging spells and cutting through Elderbrain's reinforcements. You hadn't counted on the resilience of the monsters that they used as shock troopers, and you were quickly surrounded. You kept fighting, parrying attacks from all directions, and firing magic like your life depended on it. However, eventually the tide turned for the worse when the Mind Flayers and the Elderbrain came into range, forming a psychic firing line. They pelted the party with stunning magic, one after the other. While you were able to weather the storm, Risu was not so fortunate and was stunned while Hyarkin was separated from you and Taito was at death's door. You used your bardic magic to try and bolster Risu's magical defense, inspiring her to try and shake off the effect, but you were struck by a more powerful blast from the Elderbrain itself. Stunned and helpless, you could only watch as one of the Mind Flayers approached you, and the last thing you saw as your vision was consumed by tentacles and the searing pain in your head overcame you was Risu returning to the fray, just a moment too late to save you. You didn't live to witness the heroic, desperate last stand that followed. You didn't see your death avenged by Taito, and you didn't see as the Elderbrain desperately fled, crippled and with only a single Mind Flayer left in his once proud colony. You come to in an endless black void that stretches out in all directions, and you look around, lost in the darkness, when suddenly you hear a voice behind you. Oh, don't be so grim, my friend. Everyone here has to die sooner or later. You turn around to see a skeleton, dressed in a black business suit, offering you his hand to shake. Mortis, god of taxes and other inevitable things. I must say, you and your friends have a certain affinity for getting your brains eaten, and it's not a pastime that I would recommend.
You have a drink, and then I hold out like a glass.
He snaps a skeletal finger, and a bottle of wine appears in his hand, and says, unlike your companions, you are a native to Horizon. I'm sure that you must at least be passively familiar with my own teachings. And if you would like, you can make a religion check for me.
Yep.
DC 10. 18.
I apparently know a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Mortis is one of the administrative gods. He's worshipped widely throughout the wider world of Horizon, and mostly his clerics are known for being kind of like a very jovial sort of like gallows humory lot. The idea is very much that death is inevitable, so the only way to greet it is with a smile, and that death isn't meant to be perceived as a bad thing. Instead, it's meant to be your reward at the end of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, other things you might know with an 18 in religion is you remember stories that the hero Aegis was the demigod son of Mortis. Sort of a, mortal mother and a deity for a father.
Yeah.
And Mortis will say, normally I would try and lighten the mood with a joke, but to be honest, my appearance here is actually a formality. I'm actually kind of outranked in this situation. I'm more meant to just greet you and send you on to my superior. Normally I would do the whole shtick of trying to convince you to remain dead. I'm aware, much like your friend Hyarkin, that it's probably only a matter of time before your companions attempt to find some way to revive you. Mm-hmm. And while I understand it's, it may or may not be your time, and You may or may not have important things that only you can do. That's not my job today. Maybe it's just best if you go and meet him yourself. And he snaps his fingers, and you sort of feel this sense of motion while you're standing still, as though you're hurtling through this void at breakneck speed. And you come to a small fire, like a fireplace, just in the void, with 2 chairs and a small table in front of it. And sat at the table is a man sort of wearing a simple traveler's outfit. And he immediately stands up and wanders over to greet you. It's very hard to pin him down. He's a man who simultaneously seems just ancient, like incredibly old, but also incredibly youthful. He's got grey hair and deep wrinkles around his eyes, but he's got this sort of very youthful and vital energy and intensity that makes it really hard to think of him as being old, regardless of what his appearance is. He's wearing a very simple traveler's outfits with these deep blue accents to it, and he's carrying a long walking stick. And the most striking thing, however, is that there are 7 golden canaries that seem to be joyfully flitting about him. And one of the canaries immediately flies up to you and sort of latches onto your collar, right underneath your right underneath your chin, and just sort of sits on your chest and is just tweeting at you excitedly.
Okay.
And the old man chuckles and waves to the bird and says, sorry. The old man chuckles and says, "Come on now, friend. Give the man some breathing room. I know you're excited to meet him, but he's been through quite an ordeal." And the canary returns to him and lands on top of the walking stick, staring at you expectantly. And he says, "I've been excited to meet you. Despite the circumstances, I certainly wish that they'd been better. I don't suppose you know who I am, do you? And if you'd like, you can make another religion check."
I kind of look down at my empty glass and I go, no clue, as I'm confused about the surroundings in which I find myself.
The old man flashes you a smile and motions for you to sit at one of the chairs in front of the fireplace, and goes to Mortis, who immediately offers him the bottle of wine and says, "Thank you, Mortis. Your hospitality is, as always, a delight, and we shall not bother you for much longer today." And Mortis just sort of looks a little bit perturbed that he's kind of being spoken down to in his own realm, and says, "Well, I have other arrivals I'm expecting today, so I suppose I shall go and see to them." And once again clicks his skeletal fingers and vanishes. And the old man walks up to you and places down the bottle of wine in front of you, which one of the canaries actually flits down off his shoulder, picks up the bottle of wine and pours you a glass, which is supernaturally strong for a canary.
Whoa.
And he says, "Well, this is a form that I sometimes use under various circumstances. I can't really blame you for not recognizing me. Today I'm using it because I thought it might be a little bit better to have a conversation. But you might know me as Bahamut, the Dragon of Platinum. And not to brag or anything, but the eldest of the gods of this world. I had hoped to speak to you for a quite specific reason, you see. No doubt you've noticed that you aren't exactly normal, Erlan. I understand that you walk among fate-touched regularly, and I am sure that by now you're aware that you're not the same as they are.
I am a lucky man.
You are distinctly unlucky, hence why you're dead. However, I'm not sure that this can really be called a fault of your own. From what I've been made aware, your death was quite the heroic ordeal.
I like to think so.
You see, the thing is, you're not fate-touched, not because you aren't important. On the contrary, you are very important. No one unimportant becomes as powerful as you are, Erlan. No one unimportant is able to do the things that you do regularly. The reason you aren't fate-touched is because you don't belong to Istus. You belong to me. And again, like, one of the canaries like comes over to refill your glass with the bottle of wine.
I'm gonna, as he does that, I put the glass on the table and sit back
Mm-hmm.
and just sit there and watch. I feel like that's fair enough after being told I belong to someone.
I'll be honest, I was expecting a different reaction, but that's fair. Many people have different reactions to knowing that they have a connection to divinity. Some people resent it, some people are glad to find their place in the world. I want to make something clear. When I say you belong to me, I mean no one else has any claim to. I supersede basically any other god who would try to define what you could possibly be. That's why you're fateless. Istus simply is not able to hold sway over you.
Carry on.
I have always been a believer in a more hands-off approach. It is my great joy to witness the various people of this world and of many other planes, to see the way they work and to see the stories that they write, the deeds that they do. And I can honestly say that you have impressed me time and time again. Come from humble beginnings, you have grown and fought and struggled and given of yourself for very little in the way of reward. Here's the part where I make you a pitch, Erlan. You've given enough. You are dead, and it's my duty as a deity to try and encourage you to stay that way. If you allow yourself to be returned to this world, you are going to have to continue to fight. Knowing you, you will, regardless of what anyone says, feel compelled to thrust yourself back into danger, whether it be for excitement, or duty, or loyalty. I want you to remember that you gave your life for someone else. Your sacrifice was heroic, and that deserves a reward. And many people tend to think of death as a tragedy. That's not what this is. What I'm offering you is an eternity in a paradise personally selected to be just for you. And With that, he extends his palm, and a glimmering image appears in it. You see green rolling fields and tall mountains in the distance. You see circles of all sorts of exotic fairy tale creatures, of centaurs and winged elves and fairies, singing and drinking and fighting. And then when the fighting dies down, having just enormous orgies, and then going back to singing, and sometimes mixtures of them.
Oh my.
And Bahamut says, normally my realm is Celestia, but that didn't really seem to suit you. This is Arboreal, the paradise of emotion. Here, people are free to do as their emotions dictate. It is a land for the unrestrained. What I offer to you is an eternity amongst those who are kindred spirits to yourselves. Free spirits who do as they please and are simply there to have a good time.
And if I decline?
You are completely welcome to. If you decline, your friends will bring you back to life, and you will continue your journey. You will fight, you will be hurt, you will be a hero. And one day, you will likely sacrifice yourself again. And this time, it will stick. You do not cheat death twice, my friend.
Okay.
I want you to understand, I bear you absolutely no ill will. I have been impressed by you time and time again, so much so that I have not felt compelled to even bother to intercede on your affairs. You have done a stellar job without me mucking things. And I'd like you to make an insight check, please.
Okay.
$15. I mean, you're talking to a god, and you're talking to the oldest of all of the gods, and it's real hard to get a read on him, but one thing strikes you as strange. You're dealing with the god of dragon, the platinum dragon. And the fact that he hasn't bothered to intercede at all when you're dealing with all the things in Dragon's Rest, when you're dealing with this ancient Fang of Immolation, and especially given that the Fang of Immolation seemed to be chanting something in that last poem, something to do with another ancient dragon god called Tiamat. Something just seems a little bit strange that Bahamut never spoke to you until now.
Can I ask him about that?
Mm-hmm. Specifically, what would you like to ask him? Why did he never speak to you, or why has he never interceded when it's come to these dragons?
The second part, yeah. Yeah, the second part.
Okay.
Definitely.
He
sees me as a heroic individual, so it seems
Certainly
slightly
does.
strange.
I would like you to make a persuasion check for me.
No worries.
27. He takes a moment and says, "Give me a moment and I'll get us some privacy." And he claps his hands together and sort of forms a bridge between his fingers. And for a moment, you get a flash of a vision of Bahamut in his true form. This enormous dragon glittering platinum. The 7 canaries around him are all golden dragons, full size, as large as Francisca at least, and all of them still dwarfed by him, so small that they appear to be canaries.
Okay.
And then the vision is gone, and the table that you are sat at is now made from glittering platinum. He says, Sorry, this is personal. Mortis is nice, but I would prefer he didn't overhear what I'm about to tell you. I have not always been friends with the other gods, and this business with the Fang of Immolation and what drives him. I cannot say 100% that I blame him for the way that he is acting, and a large part of me wishes that I could support him. If you want to know why I haven't interceded, it's because I couldn't will myself to do it. You heard his song, or at least a part of it. It's called the Elergy for the First World. It is a song much older than this world, as the name would suggest. And it is something that instinctively on some level, all dragons know. As they grow more powerful and more old, it becomes more clear to them the memories that they've lost, the knowledge of what was taken from him. The reason that the dragon you refer to as the Fang of Immolation is so driven to vengeance is because he remembers more clearly than most all that has been lost.
I appreciate the honesty, old friend.
There's no doubt in my mind that you are not going to take my offer, and frankly, I expect no less of you, but I am duty-bound to give you the offer nonetheless. Erland, it has been a pleasure, and I'm sure that sometime in the not-too-distant future, I shall speak with you again. Maybe once all this business has been concluded.
I extend a hand for a handshake.
He gladly shakes your hand. And one thing you sort of notice, which feels a little bit odd now that you've seen him in his true form for like the briefest flash of a moment, is that while he's in this humanoid form, your hands are so much larger than his. Like, he genuinely looks like an old man for a moment. And then he vanishes. And Mortis returns and says, "That was incredibly rude. Not you, I mean him. Kicking me out of my own domain. I suppose it's a matter of time before you're returned to the world of the living then, my friend."
It is indeed. Our journey is not finished, and neither am I.
I can't say I'm glad to hear it, but I shall see you again, hopefully under better circumstances. I shall endeavour to see that you are kept in comfort until you are returned to the mortal world. It generally takes a little while. And with that, we will end the session.
Welcome back.
Awesome.
Well, not just yet, remember.
Next session.
Next session.
Next session.
There we go. The title of the session is still valid. I don't have to rename it. We got in a little bit about the
Yeah.
Elergy.
You got that in right at the last second there.
Yeah, there was some discussion at the beginning of the session whether or not the title needed to be changed.
Oh, okay.
They didn't know actually whether we would get to the Elergy. Well, you didn't get to the Elergy, but it was mentioned at least.
I've got you.
Enough. That was the important thing.
Anyway, I mean, some things have been crossed off the list. You next session will be returning Erland back to life. You have collected virtue, and just to catch you up a little bit,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
I'll only sort of give you brief points because it's now 20 past 10 and my voice is dying. Virtue sort of told you all his side of the story of when he was kidnapped. There's very little extra information that he was able to add for you. He wasn't exactly lucid for most of the time. However, he did tell you that Zermatt pried some information from his mind, something about Nexus that he'd clearly previously learned that now has been taken from his mind. So he has set off trying to go back to the Citadel of the Moon, where he did all his studies, to try and reteach himself whatever it was that was so important.
Okay, I got you.
That was honestly like pretty much everything that happened in the session.
Yeah.
The rest was mostly like, I wonder what
having fun.
Hierarchin's curse is. Let's name this pub Stinky Feet. I know, Cursed Feet.
First fate.
It was a wonky,
Get it right.
a wonky sitcom.
Get it right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. It was funny. Come on, we had to laugh at it.
it was a really cursed session.
You guys loved that joke. I was like, okay.
Still not the most
On.
cursed session.
It was not, no. It wasn't
Was
you guys
it
like
the
one after
second?
the other asking me about the guy sat on the rock.
Yeah, at least we knew where we were this time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thanks for rushing home when you could, Matt.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I finished work and I just walked back. I'm
Mhm.
completely soaked, but